Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of the Masochist. Shout out to Cimo and Hossman for inventing this series, and also, would you like to make your Master Duel experience a whole lot better?
Are you ready to take your Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel Play experience to a new level? The Untapped GG Companion is here for you. Use the deck tracker to know exactly what cards you have in your deck, and to go over any cards you aren't familiar with yet by hovering over them. It instantly updates when you draw a card, and automatically hides if you check your extra deck or graveyard. This is the perfect tool to help you master a new deck. The Untapped GG Companion also lets you import decks directly into the game in seconds. Copy any YDK or YDKE deck string, create a new deck in game, click the Start Auto Import button, and let us take the wheel. Once the duel is over, check your win rate on your personal stats page. Brag among your friends and share your decks so they can import them into the game too. Start your path to master today by downloading the Untapped GG Companion at ygom.untapped.gg.
Alright, so last time I asked you guys which deck you wanted to see me play. A lot of you replied with the hot sauce deck. You guys wanted me to see me play that. A lot of you actually said Chaos Pile, some of you said Dragon Warrior. So maybe I'll start off with the hot sauce next episode. Maybe I'll switch to Chaos and then Dragon Warrior afterwards. But like I said, if the hot sauce doesn't work out and we just start losing, then I'll just switch to the bread and butter, which is the Yugi Jr. deck. We know that deck does very, very well. So first off, we're starting with this deck just to do a quick deck list here. You guys can sort of take a look. It's a very heavy control focused deck. I actually have to switch out some things here real quick. Alright, so this deck is mostly a fire deck here. It's mostly fire / control. It's got some True Draco cards. It's got 3 of these Cataclysm dudes, but it's basically a big fire control deck with a bunch of spawn trap cards that all work very, very well with the deck. There's a lot of interruptions. Overall, it's a fairly strong control deck. That's basically what it is. Alright, so let's get into game 1. We just won the coin flip, actually. Our hand is looking okay. Unfortunately, we didn't draw any of the stall cards that we have in our deck here. We have a ton. We just didn't happen to open them this time around, but we have a lot of stuff usually. We have like Synchro Zone and Crackdown and like a bunch of different stuff that is very, very usable. We just didn't see it. And we'll set this and we'll just pass here. This should be good enough. We'll see if our opponent can out this board. Sometimes they just can't out this. Like depending on what deck they're playing, they simply cannot out this board. Our opponent's going to go to end of main phase and end phase. Yeah, like I said, sometimes your opponent just does not have an out to this board. On end phase, I think we're going to go ahead and activate True King's Return. Yeah, we're going to activate the True King's Return on their end phase. That way we can special summon Ignis Heat if we need to. Actually, can it special summon Ignis Heat? Draw. Oh, it special summons a True Draco monster from the graveyard. So, okay, that's not that bad. I guess we can summon this Sprite dude right now. But we can always special summon things back very easily. I'm going to go ahead and summon this Ignis dude out. And then we're just going to go to battle phase here. I thought this could special summon from graveyard or hand, but there's only special summons from the graveyard in defense position. And you can't special summon for the rest of the turn, but that's fine. So we're just going to go to battle phase now. Just going to attack with both of these monsters. This Rising Fire card seems like it would be good, but sometimes it really doesn't come up. It summons from the graveyard, which is cool, but you have to control no monsters to do it. Which I guess it's a good recovery card, but sometimes we draw it a little too evenly matched. Okay, so we're going to get even lead. We'll banish this, and we'll banish this, and we'll leave the barrier statue. And just as a bluff, I guess we could maybe... No, I'm not going to set it as a bluff, just in case I need it next turn. So I'm just going to end phase here. Like I said, if our opponent doesn't draw an out to the barrier statue, then we get another turn of this. But it's actually kind of crazy that they drew the evenly matched. They're going to end phase again. Good with me. I mean, good enough. We're going to draw a power frame is very good. I don't think that we contribute this. It has to be continuous spell or trap card. Yeah, it's not just a face up. So we can't tribute this. So I guess we should go to battle phase. We can go to battle phase, attack directly. And we do have power frame to defend ourselves if we need to. And we're getting closer and closer to the point where Cataclysm can be really good. So if our barrier statue gets destroyed, we can Cataclysm and possibly burn them to death, which is good. And then we've got also Ignis Heat, Rising Fire to recur stuff. So overall, we're not in the worst situation right now. Alright, they're going to set a monster. It's probably an Ash Blossom because it's always an Ash Blossom. Memories of an Adversary. I guess I'm going to just attack it because I want to see what's underneath there. It's more than... It's almost always... It's Maxi or Ash Blossom. It's Ash Blossom. And that sucks because now they could possibly summon something larger. Again, I can't tribute the barrier statue because then then they can do stuff and we don't want that. Our opponent's got a Harpy's Feather Duster, which actually does suck because we had some good stuff back there. Like I said, Memories of an Adversary is a fantastic card. Same thing with Power Frame. It would have, denied an attack. Now they're going to tribute summon into the No Punk here. And this duel is pretty much over now. And the order of the things that we drew. Alright, let's summon up this Cataclysm. Burn them for some damage. Yes, we want to burn them. We'll burn them for 500. Why not? It's better than not burning them. But yeah, that kind of sucks. Because now they can do their full combos and do everything they need to. I'm actually getting kind of tired of this Rising Fire card. It's not continuous, and it requires you to have no monsters on the field in order to use it, but I actually do like the card. Like, everything about this card is good, other than the fact that it's just, like, I hate the fact that you have to have no monsters to target a fire monster from the graveyard and special summon it. Like, that's such a crazy restriction. Now they're going to start going into their punk combos, and effectively we probably will lose now. Yeah, there's not a chance that we win this. I think we have to redesign this deck again. Our opponent's going off, and there's nothing that we could possibly draw that could probably save us here, so I think we're just going to scoop this one up. Alright, so to switch some things out, I'm putting in that memory card right there, wherever it is, this memory loss card. I'm taking out this sword. It seems like a great card, but like, it's such a weird card where it requires you not to have any monsters on the field, so I'm taking that out for sure. Again, this deck is just kind of, it doesn't really go plus like our other decks. It doesn't use our extra deck like the other deck, so it can be a bit bricky. But overall, it's not like the worst deck. So we'll give it a couple more tries, but if it doesn't, turn itself around, we might have to switch out to something else. Alright, we just won the coin flip. Our hand isn't looking honestly too bad. We have the Brave Drive, the number 3, the True Draco 3 guy. Our hand's definitely not looking too bad. We've got a couple of floodgates, actually. We've got There Can Only Be One, and we've got By Order of the Emperor, which are 2 floodgates back to back. Yeah, and we get to, that's not bad. And then we've got also Brave Drive, which I guess I'll just summon out the Brave Drive, and I'll just pass here. And as soon as possible, I'm going to activate the By Order of the Emperor. I'm going to try it out. This card really isn't too bad. I wish we had like throwaway effects that we can activate on normal summon, because then this card would be really good. It'd be essentially a negate every single turn. If we had like throwaway cards where it's like normal summon do something and they didn't matter much, they would actually be quite crazy. But I don't think we have any on normal summon effects anyway. Alright, our opponent's going to summon this card, which I've never seen in my life, which is like, guess it's fine with me. I guess we'll see what else they have. You could tribute a beast, wing beast, special summon this card. I don't know what else they're going to be playing, but they've summoned this. Which again, I've never seen that card in my life. So he's going to banish Harpy's Queen to, I guess this becomes Harpy's Queen in name. Yeah, this is now Harpy's Queen, but it's not Harpy Lady because Harpy's Queen is not Harpy Lady unless it's on the field. So he just made this a Harpy's Queen, and it's a wing beast, but it's always been a wing beast. So I don't really see the point of that. What is positive is that he's more than likely playing Harpies, so There Can Only Be One is essentially an auto win against this deck. If they don't, well, it's kind of an auto win outside of the fact that they can, they can search Harpy's Feather Duster at the end phase of certain effects. So that we have to see what's going on here. Now, I will say this: this card is pretty good against Harpies because if they have Perfumer, we can negate Perfumer, but I honestly think that the True Dracos would probably be better in this situation. So I'm going to go ahead and start summoning some of these True Dracos. So I'm going to summon this one right here, which is the number 3. This is Skull Invitation. That's fine. Every time a card goes to the graveyard, it inflicts 300 to the owner, which, I mean, is fine. This guy didn't look like a bot, but he is making some weird random plays, but he didn't play like a bot so far. He could just like that card. Like, that's usually a card a bot plays, but so far, these haven't actually been bot plays. They just haven't been optimal plays, because typically a bot, this is either a bad player or a bot, I don't know. Because this is a card that like a bad player would play, but at the same time, this is like bot central right here. The Skull Invitation, like every bot has that. The other thing that throws me off of this not being a bot is that he didn't attack me even though he had a monster that was weaker than mine, because typically bots will do that. So we'll draw. If I summon the Ignis Heat, I win. But if he has like Mirror Force, then I lose, and I'm in a really bad position. So I'm usually going to play this somewhat intelligently. I'm just going to attack directly and see where that gets me. Yep, we're going to attack again. I should have probably just summoned the Ignis Heat, but again, I have to play this somewhat intelligently. And now we're just going to pass here. This Flameville Baby is kind of interesting. This is another card I might take out, because there's that card that every time when there's a fire, if you have a fire in the graveyard, you can banish it and then banish a card from your opponent's graveyard. That card is pretty good, but I'm not playing as many fires anymore. It's more of a true Draco deck than it is a fire deck. And our opponent scoops. Yeah, computers don't scoop, so that was actually a legitimate person. That was quite interesting. We got a win there. Let's go see what our opponent's playing. And in addition to, well, we just ranked up into Gold 4, which is pretty nice. So we got 100 gems for that, and then we get 2 legacy tickets. All right, this is what our opponent's playing as expected. This is not a bot. This is just a person that is playing anime harpies, as I would call them. So he's playing just a bunch of harpy cards. I don't really see the purpose of this card. It just copies the name. But if you're going to use this, you got to send regular harpy girl or harpy lady. Not even harpy lady number 1. You have to play generic regular harpy lady if you're going to run this card. And yeah, like I said, I think this is just anime harpies is what this guy's playing. He's got this card right here, Griffin Wing, to counter Harpy's Feather Duster. He's got a lot of it is literally like a My Valentine deck is what this is like. All right, let's open this pack. It doesn't seem to be glowing in any way, but whatever. Like I said, I'm actually looking for a lot of rares anyway. Gladiator Taming we already have, and we haven't been using it. This is a Vernisloof card. This card's not bad, but it locks you into Earth effects, which is not the best situation for us, but it's not a terrible card. This is a Sky Striker card. Alright, this card is actually not bad. You can attach it, essentially we can attach it to either Avermax or Time Thief Redoer, for example. As long as it's in the extra monster zone, that Time Thief Redoer will be able to attack twice, and when it destroys a monster and we have 3 more spawn trap cards, we can draw a card. Honestly, not the worst effect in the world. And then I think that's, yeah, if it destroys a monster by its attack while 3 or more spells are equipped, draw 1 card. That's not once per turn, and it can attack twice on monsters, so it can draw 2 cards potentially. This honestly is not even that bad of a card, depending on the situation. Reaper Docus is actually good too. Just 2 monsters, generic, can change the typing on things. This is actually one of the better Link 2s you could pull probably out of a rare. Photon, we don't have a lot of Photon and Galaxy Eyes cards. This is Infernity Diviati, which is actually one of the best Infernity cards that are out there. And we have pulled some Infernities, but we do not have enough to actually play the deck. We don't have Reasonings, we don't have Monster Gates, we don't have anything like that. So I don't think this is possible. I have to look at what Infernoids we have, but this card is actually quite easy to summon because you just have to special summon it by banishing 3 Infernoid monsters from your hand or graveyard, but it's not the easiest thing to set that up. Again, in our deck just doesn't have that. Mad Hacker. What does this do? So this card's actually not like bad. It's like a hand trap. It's a weird hand trap where if our opponent special summons something, we can summon this. And then during the end phase, we can banish this from the field and then take 1 monster our opponent controls, but it has to be the weakest monster that they control, and then it basically can't attack and all that other stuff. But it's not like super useful. And then we've got Comics Hero King Alexander, which is 2 level 4 warrior monsters. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Detach a material instead of getting destroyed by battle. Which, I mean, it's 2400 attack. They're probably destroying it with card effects. If you do, gains 500, inflicts 500 to your opponent. Not the worst card. Probably goes in our warrior deck, to be honest with you. So Reaper Docus is a good pull. Hercules Base is not bad, but it only works with like extra deck monsters and only 1 at a time. And then, what's the requirement? Activate if you control no monsters in the main monster zone. So we can activate it, and then the effects all apply, and then we can start summoning in the other monster zones. So honestly, this card's not even that bad for draw power. The problem is if we don't go into our extra deck, it's kind of a dead card. This isn't a terrible card. Diviati's kind of good if we had more. Reaper Docus is good, and then Comics King Hero Alexander for the warrior deck. All right, let's open these legacy tickets. Let's see what we get out of here. We're still looking for more barrier statues. They're always ready to be signed up. Worm Drake, and do we have this already? No, it said new. 2 effect monsters, totally generic, which is really good. Alright, so this card is actually quite good. It is a 2300 a generic Link 2 only requires effect monsters, so that's not bad. And on top of that, it actually, not only is it like easy to summon, it floats if our opponent destroys it for any reason. So that is quite good, and this is probably going into pretty much all of our decks. Alright, next pack. Let's see what we get here. We've got, oh, this card. This card never came out. Actually, I always say it never came out in the TCG, and then people are like, oh, no, it actually came out in this random Speed Duels deck. This could have came out in a Speed Duel deck, but I remember this card, I really wanted to play it because there was a bunch of normal level 2 water monsters that were really good, and I wanted to play the deck with Totally Awesome, but there's a ton of them were just stuck in Japan at the time. But it was a bunch of them, just normal level 2 monsters, and I remember it was like all of these random cards that you could use, and I remember there was a revival spell that, this was back when Monster Reborn was banned, that only worked with like low level water monsters or low level monsters. I forget what the card is exactly, but I always wanted to play it, but it never came out in the TCG. And then we've got the Algae, which is a win in time card, which obviously doesn't apply to Master Duel. Alright, so this is like our central deck. I think that there's actually quite a few things that we can change out. So for sure we can play these links. We pulled some really good links just now that are without a doubt 1,000,000% playable. Like it's kind of nice. So we pulled the Codebreaker dude, which is a generic link 2. We need more of those because they're very useful. And we pulled Reproducus, which is also an Earth. And it being an Earth is actually quite important because that means that we can go into the others. So this guy's probably going to be removed from this particular deck. This is our Yugi Jr. deck. I'm probably going to take that out. I don't have a lot of level 3s left in this deck, so I can take this out. And then I can play the other link, which is the Earth link that we pulled a while ago, because that card is actually usable now. Alright, so this is the card I was talking about. We can actually run this now. This is the G Golem Invalid. It's just 2+ Earth monsters. We can run it because we have this dude right here, the Reproducus, and Reproducus can change the type or attribute of a monster. So yeah, of all monsters this card points to. So basically what we can do is we can use 2 monsters, any 2 monsters, special summon, and then underneath it doesn't matter what monster we put underneath, as long as this points to that monster, we can change it to an Earth, and then we can immediately go right into our G Golem Invalid Dolmen. So we now have access to that. The card that I'll probably take out is this, because we just never go into the Gishki Morogeist. We just never go into it. Also, I mean, look, we can do other stuff here. Actually, no, Link Spider comes up sometimes, because sometimes we have the embodiment of Apophis, so it does actually sometimes come up to do it. But overall, I think this is quite good, so we're going to rearrange that. It's actually really nice. Reproducus is kind of an insane pull in this deck. In the Fire Control deck, it really doesn't matter, but in this particular deck, it actually gives us a lot more versatility in our Link plays. Like I said, we now have the Codebreaker we can go into. We have the Dolmen. We have a lot of stuff that we can actually go into, which is, quite nice. Alright, our next game here, I'm still trying out, like I said, I'm still trying out this deck, as I said I would give it a full chance here. And this hand is looking kind of rough. We've got this and essentially Messenger of Peace that are usable, and everything else is pretty much unusable, so I don't even know if there's a point to really set it right now. I mean, I guess we can summon this Time Lord, but it's going to shuffle itself back. Unbreakable Spirit's useless right now, and so is the Wandering. I guess we have the Order to protect this. I mean, it to be kind of like a floodgate for us, but I guess we'll see. Our opponent's going to be using this deck, which I don't see that protecting us right now. Unless they have like Manju or something, I don't think it's going to work for us. So they're going to reveal 2 Novellas cards, and I'm going to pick one to give to them. And I think they're just going to go ahead and Ritual Summon. They're not even going to do any on normal summon effects. So we're going to activate it anyway, and then we'll, hopefully if they have like if they have Diviner or something, we can activate the by order of the Emperor. So they're going to chain this in response, choose one Novellas, Pendulum. So they're going to use both of those, and they're going to normal or summon this and give us this one right here. And this was not on normal summon, this was on special summon. He's going to be able to use the effect. Our opponent's going to Ritual Summon into the little Novellas monster, this one. The Novellas are kind of cool because they contribute, like your opponent's attack position monsters, which is our monsters that he just gave us, which is actually kind of crazy. But yeah, it's, if they want to, they contribute our monsters to Ritual Summon or to resolve their effects. It's actually kind of an interesting deck, and it's definitely not a deck that we can have a lot of it's not going to be easy for us to beat. So our opponent's going to pop the card, and now they're going to Diviner. So they popped our Order of the Emperor, and they did actually have the Diviner, which I did guess, but they managed to pop our card, and now they managed to pop our other card. I don't think that this one is going to work out for us the way I would like it to, but I guess we'll have to see. All right, so our opponent's still going off. He cleared our board completely. There's not much that I can do here, so I'm just going to go ahead and scoop this one up. All right, so I'm going to be honest. I don't think this hot sauce deck is ready yet. It's close to being ready, but it's not quite there. We don't have enough floodgates to make it like really, really viable yet. But at the same time, it's just a very, very bricky deck at this point, and it was expected. Like, if we draw Barrier Statue and we draw Protection, we probably will win most games, especially if we go first. But sometimes going second with this deck can be a little bit rough. And then some of our floodgates are really specific, so things like the Synchro Zone, if they're playing Synchros, it just kind of outs us. The Order of the Emperor is just specific. Some of our floodgates are really good, and others are not really that good. A lot of them just have very specific utility. Like last game, if we drew this Spell Fragrance, we probably would have been in very good shape, but we didn't draw it, so it's just a very, very specific deck. And if I played enough games, I could probably win a bunch, but like the problem is it's not super consistent. And honestly, at this point, it's not even really that fun to watch because I'm basically just hoping to draw Barrier Statue and protect it. So we're going to go ahead and switch to the other deck. All right, we just lost a coin flip. Our hand's not looking too bad, honestly. We've got both of the Magistus cards. We've got Power Frame. There can only be one. Crackdown. Not a bad hand whatsoever. So I guess we'll see what our opponent's running. All right, our opponent's going to activate Small World. He's going to reveal Gamma. I guess we'll see what he gets into, because that could literally mean so many different things. Small World can't search anything. He's going to search Droll, which against our deck, Gamma is actually better than Droll, because it's just better than Droll against our deck, and Droll does literally nothing against our deck, so I'm so comfortable with him doing it. But he's actually not going to search. He's going to reveal it to actually search something useful. So I wish he was searching the Droll. Our opponent just scooped it up. I don't know what to say. I don't know, maybe they couldn't figure out how to use Small World, went to the wrong targets and said screw it. I mean, the card is somewhat complicated. All right, we've got 3 legacy tickets. That's pretty cool. Out of curiosity, this is actually what our opponent was searching. They were playing the Barrier Statues with Numeria, which is quite interesting. Honestly, they probably would have beaten us, but I mean, they more than likely would have beaten us. I don't know why they should have built us going second. That's what they should have done, but I don't really care. Let's go open some packs. All right, let's open this master pack. Hopefully we get something cool. We've pulled a super rare in almost every single pack. Super rare or better in almost every single pack so far. So for the last few episodes, we've been Magic Hand. We already have Fire Hand, and we have one other hand. I don't remember what other hand, so now we have another hand. All right, so this card is basically just inflicts damage. It's not that good. Laval Lance Lord. All right, so this is basically can be normal summon, but we send it to the graveyard at the end phase. And if it's destroyed, we can target a fire that is banished, add it to our hand. Not really that great. Maybe in our fire deck, maybe, and that's a super maybe. Dragoonity Whirlwind. We do not have enough Dragoonity cards. We do have the Dragoonity extra deck monster, the Link monster, Romulus, but I don't think that this is going to work. Honestly, this card's not bad. If we get all of the parts needed for this, I would actually run it, but we just do not. So you need a Dragoonity Tuner, a Wing Beast Dragoonity monster. And this is if our opponent controls a monster. So in our dragon deck, this could actually be good. It requires those 2 things already. And then if our opponent controls a monster special summon from the extra deck, we can synchro summon immediately. And we're locked into dragon monsters from the extra deck. None of that whatsoever is bad. But we just do not have any of the parts needed for this quite yet. But it is actually a good card. Amazoness Blowpiper. This card is... It's actually not a good card, but we have a lot of Amazoness cards, so maybe not the worst, not the best. Symbol Skeleton's pretty good, but we don't have any of the Orcus stuff. Creation Resonator's pretty good, but we need a level 8 or higher Synchro Monster to special summon this for free, which we actually can't. We can make it, right? We have the materials to make it, but we don't have the actual monster to summon, but we do have the materials to make, so maybe one day it could be good. Brute Enforcer, second copy of that. I don't think I'm going to be running a second copy. It's a utility extra deck card. I would rather keep different cards in my extra deck. So an episode ago, I would probably would have played that. And then Melfi Mami, which is a a level 2. It requires 2+ beast monsters. So we do have some level 2 beasts like Raiko and stuff, but I don't know if we're going to be able to, I don't know if there's really a point to play this. Yeah, overall this card isn't bad, but unfortunately as of right now, I don't believe that that's really usable. So this is a repeat, and we just didn't need a second copy. Of all of these cards, honestly, none of them are really playable immediately. Like, they're all playable cards, but they're not like going in our deck right now, just because this requires other stuff. This requires us to have beasts. The Dragoonity's pretty good, but we don't have the components, and obviously Brute Enforcer is Brute Enforcer. Alright, let's open these. These are the Legacy tickets. We've got World Legacy Awakens. This is basically, it essentially lets you link someone on your opponent's turn. It's kind of like IP, but without IP. So I guess we could maybe make a Crusader Abramax on our opponent's turn, but if I could make it on my opponent's turn, I'll just make it on my turn. I don't really see the purpose of this. If I searched it for free or something, it'd be cool. But Shadow Ghoul gains 100 for every... This is from the anime. It came up like so many times in these. So many different people in the anime use this card. You remember that? Like Rebecca used it, and then just like every random like rare hunter or like evil guy would always use Shadow Ghoul. I don't know why specifically this card, but he is a cool looking card. He's it was one of those monsters I like really thought looked really awesome. And then he also had a part in the like I said, almost every season, even in the final season when they go back in time, some dude has a Shadow Ghoul. Like, this card is always comes up somehow in the anime, and it does honestly look pretty cool, but its effects are very lackluster. Its level sucks. Alright, so basically this gives battle protection and targeting protection for a monster that's equipped to it, but it can't be a monster with 1300 or higher attack, which most of our monsters are. Shining Elf is a generic level 2 monster. Yeah, it just makes your opponent lose 500. We have better generic level 2s right now, so that the cards we have kind of power creep that card, and we don't really play a lot of level 2s. And then we got 2 supers out of a legacy ticket. That is crazy. Let's see what they are. So first up, we've got, wow, I can't even pretend to be fake excited. That's just a great card. Goblinberg is fantastic. Normal summon, special summon a level 4 lower monster from your hand, and then you flip this to defense mode. Really good card. Just generically a great not one card, but 1.5 card Time Thief Redoer. That is just really good. That's super solid. And then Afterglow, I gotta read this. I've never even seen what this is. Actually, do we already own this? No, it's new. This is a very, very convoluted way to do 4,000 damage to your opponent. It's not, I'll be honest with you, this is not for me. Basically, you banish this card and as many Afterglows from your hand, deck, graveyard, blah, 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 blah. And then you shuffle one of them into the deck, and then if you draw it, you get to reveal it and do 4,000, and this is a once per duel effect. So you essentially have to get incredibly lucky. You have to essentially draw it. It's not a card that I'm going to be playing anytime soon, but I mean, I don't know why this is a super. This should be a common, but Goblinberg is wild. All right, so I'm definitely playing Goblinberg. He's a warrior, actually. I didn't even know that. Our warrior deck, like I said, our warrior deck might actually be better than our spellcaster deck at this point. Like, we just keep getting more and more stuff that makes it better. Like, in theoretically, our warrior deck might actually even be better at this point, because we still have unexpected die. Not unexpected die, whatever that card is. Tribute a warrior, pop 2 cards, draw a card, or tribute a warrior, pop a card, draw a card. We still have that. We have multiple cards. We have another card that's similar to Goblinberg that can summon 2 warriors from the hand. Then we have Goblinberg. We have Marauding Cap. Like, we have a lot of stuff for warriors. Goblinberg is a really good card. I think I'm going to take out one of these Magistas and Endymion dudes. And that way we still have a decent mix of spellcasters, non-spellcasters. Goblinberg, so the theory of Goblinberg is if we draw Goblinberg and we draw one of the cards to special summon them for free, or themselves for free when we have a spellcaster, we can just summon it off of Goblinberg. So regardless, we can still get into Goblinberg. The drawback to Goblinberg is that he can be Max Seed, he can be he can be Max Seed, he can be Effect Veilered, Imperm, stuff like that, but he's not an inherent summon, kind of like the Inkari plus a spellcaster, but still, he's good because he's like essentially a 1-card Time Thief Redoer. So even if we draw other stuff, we can, get a free summon. He can also summon like Crusader Arborea, for example, and then we can go into we can go into the Zeta, for example. But he's definitely a really, really good pull. I'm very happy with him. Like, generally, he's just a very good pull. All right, we just lost the coin flip. Our hand's honestly looking pretty good. We've got the Purple Poison. We've got Iron Dragon, we have Rocket Caliber, Shrink, and Power Frame. Pretty good hand, honestly. And what's cool is, what's not cool is that our opponent's playing Vanquished Soul, which we probably cannot beat, if I'm being honest with you. With this hand, I don't believe we're beating Vanquished Soul, but I guess we'll see where this goes. Here, our opponent's going to go into the Link 1. He's already searched. He's going to do Mad Love. Yeah, this is not looking very good. I don't believe that we can beat this deck, if I'm going to be totally 100% honest with you. This is one of those decks where it's a control deck. It's slow. It doesn't seem like it's doing much, but it does create a lot of advantage. And it's probably a top 10 deck in the game right now, and we're going second. So I don't believe that we're going to be able to beat this, but I'm going to obviously try my best here. Alright, so I'm going to actually activate Purple Poison right... I can either here or here. I'm going to activate it. I'm going to activate Purple Poison right here because I want to pop this column here anyway. So we'll see what our opponent does. We're going to see how they react to our card activation here, and they don't react. So actually, we're going to go ahead and normal summon the Rocket Caliber. And we're going to set a card there so that we have 3 cards in this column. And we're going to be able to use the Power Frame. I'm going to set a card. Opponent's going to activate, obviously, the Rock of Vanquisher. And they're going to summon out this dude right here, which is, I mean, I guess we're going to have to live with it. He's their search card. He's going to search out that dude right there, which is the Heavy Borger. He's going to activate this effect to destroy all cards in our column, which is going to be our Rocket Caliber, but he's put a monster in this column, which is good. So now we can still use the effect of Iron Dragon. So now we're going to set this Power Frame right here, and we're going to activate the Iron Dragon. See if our opponent has a response to that. We can either pop, we're going to pop this column just so we can trigger off the Purple Poison, and we get to pop this, and then with Purple Poison we're going to pop probably another card here. Actually, I've decided to just summon it here and then just pop this column instead. This should be better for us if we pop this stuff. We'll just find a way to pop the Purple Poison some other way later. And our opponent's going to use the Vanquished Soul, the new common card that came out. So he's going to destroy, I believe, everything now. But we're going to be able to... Or actually, he's going to move us from this zone. So we're not going to be able to destroy his cards, I don't believe. And he's going to summon the Caesar out. We're going to destroy one card but not the other. Honestly, I don't see us winning this duel. Like I said, this is a really strong control deck. We just are not winning this duel going second. Alright, we just won the coin flip. Our hand's looking pretty solid, actually. We've got Barrier Statue, Messenger of Peace. That's already like a killer combo right there. Messenger of Peace, Barrier Statue, and then we've got There Can Only Be One, which is pretty awesome. So we're just going to set that and pass. I mean, that's a solid combo. And if I really wanted to, I could have special summoned Crowley too. But obviously there's no purpose for that right now. So this should be good enough as is. Our opponent's going to activate to search a level 5 or higher normal. He obviously can't even use level 5 or higher normals because... he's playing Ignites, which is actually quite interesting. But he can only summon fires. I wonder if that'll have an impact on what he can do, because he is playing Ignites. So we'll see if that'll... I mean, if he summons a bunch of monsters, it might be good for him. He can special summon a monster, which happens to be, like I said, this is a good situation for him because he's playing Ignites. But hopefully he summons something with more than 1500 attack here. He's going to summon out an Ignite with 1400 attack, which this is not very good for us because now he can get over this because this is obviously it has to be 1500. He's going to put the Pendulum Scales out. I actually want him to Pendulum Summon because then I'll activate There Can Only Be One right after. And yeah, this is all fine. He can destroy that, destroy those two, and then go look for more cards. I actually wanted him to Pendulum Summon there. Alright, he's going to normal summon this, and I'm going to go ahead and activate There Can Only Be One right now to lock him into Warriors, which obviously he's playing some kind of a Warrior pile deck here. Honestly, he's playing Infernobles with the Ignites, so he can equip something. So he can equip to whatever, and it gives the monster 500 attack, so it'll put it over the Messenger of Peace. But we actually got a little bit unlucky here because our Barrier Statue isn't as impactful as I would like it to be. The more impactful card right now is actually There Can Only Be One, because all his monsters are fire anyway. The Infernoble Knights are fire, the Ignite fire, all of the Fire Gemini monsters are all fire. So right now our Fire Barrier Statue actually isn't even doing a thing for us right now. So he's going to send that to the graveyard, and the equip's going to just fall off. It doesn't really go anywhere, so that's fine. He's locked under what he's locked under, and he can attack over our monster because he got a bit lucky, but it's whatever. He's going to put the pendulum scales out, target one other card, destroy it, which is fine again. And he's going to put the trap card back there. And he's going to attack over our barrier statue, which does actually suck. So let's see what we draw here. We got another spellcaster. There can only be one on the field. I think I am going to pay this right now. All our monsters have weakish defense, so I am going to pay this. Yes, we do want to pay that, and then we're just going to set a monster. Because unfortunately, we can't go into Time Thief because all our hand is spellcasters at the moment. We do play a lot of non-spellcasters now, so that's why There Can Only Be One works so well, because we have stuff like Inkari Fire and the Nefariousness Archfiend and the Iron Dragon and stuff like that. But we also play a lot of spellcasters, so sometimes they do clash. But as long as we draw a non-spellcaster right now, we'd be in a good situation. Threatening Roar, not yet. I do want to keep paying this, yes. Also, when we do want to get rid of the Messenger of Peace, we can just activate the Endymion to draw. But as of right now, like I said, it's just we can't really do anything else, so we're gonna just set Threatening Roar and just pass here. Our opponent's locked under some difficult stuff right now. They're locked under There Can Only Be One. They're locked under, yeah, they're locked. There can only be one in Messenger of Peace. So right now, we've got them sort of on the ropes here. Now, like I said, we both kind of got lucky in this situation. I drew pretty good floodgates, and he drew some really good outs. So any other deck would have really struggled with the barrier statue plus Messenger of Peace combo, but he's playing a deck that completely counters that. All right, he's going to tribute set, which is interesting as to what that can be. I imagine that's the Infernoble monster, one of the large Infernoble monsters. I think that's more than likely what that is. And our opponent's going to Pendulum Summon, because now he can Pendulum Summon a monster. So that's fine. It's 2,700 defense, but only 1,300 attack, so that's good with us. Because he was able to Pendulum Summon this. This is face down, but he couldn't Pendulum Summon, obviously, whatever else he's got. So I guess he's got that for now. Now, 2,700 is not super easy to deal with either. I mean, it's a lot of defense. All right, we're going to draw, see what we get. We got Rocket Caliber, which isn't too bad. I'm going to continue to pay for this because, I mean, I'd be crazy not to. I can use the effect, like I said, to shuffle that back. I think I'm going to summon this out for sure. And we have a few different things that we can do. We can go into Sue Ship. We can go into Time Thief. We can go into a variety of different cards right now. So, like I said, we can activate draw. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that before they draw, because they could just draw an out at any given time anyway. So we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to draw a card, which is Crackdown. We're going to put back the Golden Summoner we can put back, or we can put back... Actually, Golden Summoner's an out, technically, to... I mean, Golden Summoner kind of sucks against Pendulums, because they can just Pendulum Summon stuff out anyway, so we're just going to put that back. Crackdown's pretty good, so now we can go into Time Thief here. Like I said, Time Thief is probably the best monster to summon right now. So I'm going to go ahead and make that. Summon out the Time Thief. And Time Thief is pretty good because we'll start accumulating things. And Time Thief can help us dodge around stuff, which I always like about him. So now we go to battle phase, and we can attack over this monster. Hopefully, I don't know which one it is. Could have a lot of defense. 2,500 defense, but not a lot of attack. But he'll have to out himself anyway. So regardless, it gets outed, and then we just set the Crackdown right here, and we pass. That should be good enough. And now we just have Time Thief plus There Can Only Be One. He's locked into Warriors, essentially. So if he doesn't out There Can Only Be One, we should win. We're going to activate Time Thief to grab a card off the top of his deck. It's a spell. Awesome. I get the draw. So I'm only going to activate that in the end phase. I'm not going to activate that now, because obviously that'd be the best time to activate it, because I need to be able to respond with the Time Thief if he like Raigekis out of nowhere. All right, he's gonna link 1 to go into Gravity Controller. Okay, so this card is really good against the monster that battles in the extra monster zone, but otherwise not very good. So that's fine with me. But now he can actually Pendulum Summon from his extra deck if he needs to, and from his hand. But again, it has to mostly fire Warriors anyway. But this card's actually quite good. One non-link monster in an extra monster zone. Like, it's not, honestly not a bad card, but not a lot of people special summon the extra monster zone anymore. It's one of the reasons I didn't summon the Time Thief to the extra monster zone, because there's just really there's no benefit to doing it. Our opponent's Pendulum Summoning out, probably from the extra monster zone. This monster has a lot of defense, so he's going to summon that. It's fine with me. And they're going to go to the end phase. In the end phase, I actually am going to activate this effect, and I'm going to just detach the spell card, and I'm going to draw a card here. I'm not going to detach those, just keep them underneath. Cubic Ascension's pretty good, and we're just going to end phase. We'll accept that. So let's see what we draw. Bestial Magnamut. He has all fires in his graveyard. We're going to activate the effect of Time Thief when we don't have anything that isn't. We don't have any darks. We're going to get a monster. Okay, so I think we're just going to summon this Crowley out. This needs to do a variety of things. This card cannot be destroyed by a monster in the main monster zone. Okay, so but he can still take the damage. I mean, I don't care. I'm going to keep attacking him then. Fine with me. So we're going to go to battle phase and we're going to start attacking. We're going to attack this monster and then we're going to attack it again. We're going to attack it as many times as we need to. Like, can't be destroyed. That's perfectly fine with me. And he clogged the zone right here. So he's clogged in a multitude of ways. He can't summon any more warriors. And then he also clogged his extra monster zone that he has available. So that's pretty good. So I'm going to set that and I'm just going to leave stuff. I'm not even going to do anything else. That's good enough with me. I'm going to go to end phase. Like I said, I'm not even going to use the crackdown because I could crackdown and take his gravity controller. I can crackdown and take his ignite, but like there's no point for me to do either of those things. We're going to activate the effect of Time Thief, see what we get off the top. Hopefully it's a monster again. I was hoping for a spell. The other thing that's cool is when we detach these materials, these pendulum monsters, they actually go to the graveyard. They don't go to the extra monster zone, to the extra deck, so it's better for us. He's going to go into the Nightmare Phoenix, which is definitely not good for us. Yeah, it's definitely not very good. He's going to target that. I have the ability now to... Oh yeah, I can Bestial Magnamut here, but honestly, there's not much I can really do here. I just have to accept this and see what else we can really do. That's fine. I mean, it's nothing I can really do. Eventually, he did have the Nightmare Phoenix. I mean, I could have taken one of his monsters, but if I took one monster, he would have summoned a different one, so it didn't really matter. So I guess it's fine. And now he doesn't have any extra monster zones either, so he can only pendulum summon what's in his hand, and then I can deal with what's in his hand because I have the Cubic Ascension, Crackdown, and Bestial Magnamut. And Bestial Magnamut can search quite a few different things here. So he is going to pendulum summon. He's going to go 1 and 2, I believe, or just one monster, 2 monsters. He's going to pendulum summon out. Again, that's fine with me because I do still have Crackdown. So if he goes into some sort of really good Link 4, I can actually take it. He's going to go to battle phase, directly to battle phase with these monsters, which at this point I'm okay with. I'm okay with him going to battle phase because, like I said, I have Cubic Ascension to block at least one attack. Yes, I am going to go ahead and Cubic Ascension here. So I'm going to get my Cubic monster out free of charge, summon it way over here, redirect his attack way over there. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to take and move it back here, block him from attacking ever again, negate his effects. Not that it mattered because he was a normal monster anyway. He's going to main phase 2, end phase. Okay. We're definitely going to Bestial Magnamut at the end phase, get rid of the gravity controller, and we're going to summon that out. Obviously, we're going to be able to activate and search Tiamat, or whatever his name is. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that, end phase. Also, we can search this and then go into another rank 4. I just realized that wouldn't be too bad. I mean, what is Tiamat really doing right now for us? Like, we can pop this column potentially, but I don't even think we can pop this column because this thing's clogging it right now anyway, so it wouldn't even be too bad. I guess we can pop this column, but this column's kind of doing stuff right now for us anyway, and this will... Yeah, we can actually pop this entire column too. So I guess we'll search the Iron Dragon here. But I guess we can't summon either of them right now anyway, because Magnamut... Oh, we don't even have Evenly Matched right now, so it doesn't even matter. Yeah, I guess let's just go back to our turn and we'll see what happens. We drew the Apophis. No, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I clicked that by accident. I'm going to go ahead and take the Nightmare Phoenix, put that on our board, and now we're going to activate the Time Thief. We're going to get some card. I don't know yet. We got a monster. Okay, so I'm going to definitely activate the Iron Dragon to pop all this stuff, but I might want to go into a Link 3 or 4 first. These are both special summons, so that's pretty good. So let's see. Alright, so we're going to activate the Cubic Seed to special summon a monster right here. And then we're going to go ahead and make a... I guess we can make a... not a Wee Witch yet, but I think I'm going to go with the... Not that it really matters, but I'm going to go with Code Virus, dude. So I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to use these two. I'm going to use Code Virus, put it right here, and I'm going to summon it right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and make the Mech Knight using these two. Using his monster, we're going to make the Mech Knight, and we're going to summon it. I Guess we can, actually, if there's 3 cards in one column, right? 3 or more cards in a column. So we'll summon it here. So we're going to make the Mech Knight, Crusadia Avermac, and then we're going to activate the effect of Tiamon, and we're going to summon the Tiamon right here to blow up everything in this column. And he might be able to search off of stuff, but it's fine if he's able to search. He's going to special summon a Metal Foes monster from the deck, but that's fine, because we have a lot of stuff on the board right now. So you can destroy 2 cards on the field. That sucks. But he has to target, so he can't target the Mech Knight Crusadia Avermac, but he can target this, which is fine. I'm going to activate it. I don't want to, obviously, but I have to. Put us in a weird spot. It's our own fault. We shouldn't have done that. We shouldn't have popped this column. We should have just left it, but I mean, we would have had to destroy his monster by battle anyway. We're going to detach. It doesn't matter what we detach because everything's obviously going to leave anyway, and he's going to not destroy that. Let me read this before I commit to anything else. Alright, let's go to battle phase. We're going to attack over this one because it's special summon. I mean, they're both special summon, but we'll attack over this, gain attack, do 3,000, and then we'll attack over this one, do 400, and then we leave them at 100 life points with 1 card left, which is really a little bit infuriating, but it's fine because we should be good. We don't have any burn effects in this particular deck, but it's a pendulum deck. They can come back, but we're going to end phase here. We're going to get Time Thief back right there, and we are in a very good situation right now. We have them down to the ropes. They have 100 life points left, so in theory we should be good here. Plus we have the Threatening Roar, which is really good. So they'd have to out our Crusadia Avermax, our Time Thief, under Threatening Roar. So let's see if they're able to do it, but I think that we have this in a good situation here. Alright, we're going to activate the Redoer, and we're going to get a card underneath. It's a monster, so again, our monster's going to flow. It's a chronograph. And they're going to scoop it up. Man, that was a dramatic, needlessly dramatic duel. A lot of cool plays. I really enjoyed that one. That was a really fun deck to play against, even though it probably wasn't that fun for him. Alright, so we've got 2 legacy tickets. Alright, just to look at our opponent's deck, they were playing a 60 card Ignite deck, like a Pendulum Ignite deck with some Metal Foes. Cool deck, honestly, really, really awesome, but didn't really stand much of a chance against the There Can Only Be One. Heavy Metal Foes Electromite is a glossy, or not a glossy, a royal rare, which is really cool. Alright, let's open up this master pack. Let's see what we get. We have another shiny in here. That's crazy. We just keep pulling hollows. There was that one episode where we just kept getting lied to, but now we just have a hollow every time. A heroic, double its attack. Not bad. This isn't bad if we had a deck that kind of used it a little more, but this definitely goes in our Chaos deck. Is like, I really gotta like put it together, because that was one of the decks that you guys wanted me to play. You guys wanted me to play the Fire one and the Chaos one, and I guess I'll see, because I have to sort of look at it. Synchro Cracker, that's a crazy name. Yeah, this card's not terrible, but it's like a very, very convoluted. Actually not that good. It's a convoluted, a really convoluted version of like Raigeki, essentially. Yeah, so this lets us target one spawn trap card, cannot be activated. In response to this card's activation, it's continuous, so I guess we could do it multiple times. It's one of those cards I probably would have played in an early episode, but not anymore. This is an Archfiend and an old one, so that's probably not usable. We've got, that's not a bad card, but we don't have the Predaplant Engine. Thunder Dragon's not bad. If we get 2 more of them, we can definitely play it in our Chaos deck, because, I mean, it deck thins and it puts lights in graveyard. And then we've got Oracle of Zephyra, which is really not a bad card whatsoever. On activation, it adds a Zephyra monster, which is really cool. We do have some Zephyra monsters. This gets thrown right into that Pendulum pile. Again, the Pendulums, they're not ready yet. I want them to be ready. But they're just a little bit all over the place, and we don't really have like a boss monster to go into. We have a few decent pendulums, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, maybe you guys know more about pendulums than I do, so maybe you would have done it. But overall, this card is really not bad, and these effects are obviously all quite good. All right, here are our legacy tickets. We've got 2 legacy tickets. Let's see what we get here. First card is Ryoku Field. I remember I pulled this as a kid. I got it as a super rare. I always thought it looked really cool. It looks like Goku, honestly. There's a lot of random Yu-Gi-Oh cards that look like Goku. This card's not that good. Basically, if a spell card targets one monster, specifically one monster, negate the activation, destroy it. Very specific. It is maybe good in old Yu-Gi-Oh, but not good now. It's not like we have like Fissure and stuff like that. There's no like target with one spell card type of situation anymore. So I just don't think that it's going to be very good. If you play against Sky Strikers, it might be good, but outside of that one matchup, it's not that good. This lets you attack directly. It's not that good. A Mystical Lamp is another card that's just really, really old. Just not really all that great. What does this do? It negates a continuous spell. We actually have this exact card for the negating continuous traps, and then we've got a Field Commander Ralts as our second copy of this guy. I think I actually cut this from the Dragon Warrior deck a long time ago, so probably is not going to be played today. Alright, next game. We just won the coin flip. Not a bad hand whatsoever, actually. We've got Goblinberg, Familiar Possessor. We're going to go ahead and summon Goblinberg. We have two options. We can go into the rank 4 plays, or we can go into the Sci-Frame monster, which I think we're just going to go into the rank 4 plays. We're going to go ahead and summon that out. We're going to summon out the Time Thief, I believe is probably best here. So we're going to Time Thief. It's crazy that so much of our extra deck is actually legitimately playable now, which is nice to see. And then I think we're just going to set these two cards and call it a turn there. We're just going to set this plus this. We also actually, funny enough, we had access to the Golem G if we wanted to. We had access to this because all we would have to do is summon Reaper-Docus, and then it points down, and then special summon the Arborea, and then we could change Arborea to an Earth, and then we had access to it. But right now, the G Golem actually wasn't doing much for us. Maybe going second, he's a little bit better. He's 2,800 off of Link 3. That's 2,400, which isn't too bad. We're gonna activate the effect of Time Thief. Hopefully, we get a trap card as usual. That's typically the best thing to get off the top of his deck. If we get a spell, that's nice too. He's playing Astral Karibo, which is a bit concerning. You know, I don't know what this could be, but Astral Karibo is a fairly good card. He's going to Kaiju us. Wow, okay. We're going to get Gamma Sealed. I don't know what our opponent's playing, but I guess we will find out what our opponent's playing here. Like I said, it might be some kind of a going second OTK deck based on the fact that there's a Kaiju, and then he's going to Kashtira. Yeah, I guess we have to just let it ride. Nothing we could really do. He's going to add Birth, and then he's going to activate Teleport to special summon out a Tuner, which is... We'll see what this is. He's going to summon out Ghost Ogre. I can activate this now, because if I don't, we're dealing with Barone, and I can't really deal with Barone, so I'm going to go ahead and activate this now. We're going to get rid of this and this. Yes, we're going to get rid of both of them. Hopefully, it'll let us resolve, but like I said, I cannot deal with Barone. This way I can get these off the board, and the next turn I can get these off the board and hopefully not have to deal with a Barone. Alright, they're going to summon a banished monster, which is going to be the banished XYZ. This thing right here, the Kashtira Unicorn. They're going to summon it back. He's going to go to battle, which is actually, again, fine with me. He's going to attack here. Look at our extra deck and banish a monster face down. We're going to put Chaining on, because I want to activate in the battle step or damage step or whatever it is. He's going to banish the Code Virus. Activate an effect, no. Battle step, now I'm going to activate it. And I'm going to cut, obviously, this card's attack in the battle step. I don't think there's much that he can do about that, and now we just wait for it to resolve. Why can that card activate in the damage step? Why in the world can this card activate in the damage step? Your opponent activates a spell card. Why is that activating? That card is not supposed to be able to activate in the damage step or in the battle step. I guess there's something else. He's going to add Golden Castle, which is super annoying because we don't have a lot of spell and trap card removal. And this destroys all our monsters whenever we attack. I really don't want to deal with this. And he's going to summon Hex 2 that can pop and that can attack twice if it pops. So we're going to lose our monster regardless. His monsters are going to be able to come back now, which is going to be just the Ghost Ogre since he got rid of he moved the Kashtira Unicorn. Alright, so that sucks. I mean, I guess we just set Lightning, we set the Threatening Roar. That's the best thing we've got right now. Unfortunately, that's the best thing we've got. Hextrude is really good, and so is that. Actually, does this pop any card? Target one card on the field, so it can pop this, but it doesn't matter because I can chain it. He's gonna banish 10. He's got a ton of cards in his deck, so banishing 10 doesn't really do much. This honestly is looking kind of out of hand right now. I'm gonna go ahead and chain that, obviously. Why not? Because he can bring back, with Kashtira Birth, he can bring back the Unicorn every single turn. He can search every single turn. He's up in card advantage so much. I don't think that there's really anything that we can get. I think this is just a game state that is a little bit out of our control right now. I'm trying to see if there's anything that we can really get, because he has a pop every turn. We can't attack because we lose all our monsters. He can special summon back this, and then he can search every turn. I'm trying to see if there's anything that we can even draw that could help us win this situation, and I don't actually believe that there's even the Cubic Ascension. There can be nothing. I don't think there's anything that we can really do. We're just so low on cards, and this is a really good game state for him. Alright, we just won the coin flip. Our hand is looking okay. We have access to Time Thief again. Then we have Small World with searches, but we don't have anything that we need to search. I mean, I guess what I can go into is the Barrier Statue plus Messenger of Peace. I can do that. That's probably a good situation. We can go either Barrier Statue plus Messenger of Peace, or we can go Time Thief Redoer. Those are our options. So I guess we're going to go Small World. Maetion's not doing anything right now, so I'm going to go ahead. Use Maetion in a second here, but I just want to make sure that I have the right combination. Yeah, I'm going to go Maetion. And with Maetion, I'm going to go... I believe Goblinberg is probably best, because Goblinberg's only characteristic that it shares with the Barrier Statue is that. So I'm going to go there next. I mean, I can go Barrier Statue. Yeah, probably Barrier Statue is probably the best situation. I go Barrier Statue and then Messenger of Peace. Unfortunately, when we have access to the Barrier Statue, for whatever reason, we oftentimes, whenever we have access to the Barrier Statue, we sometimes just don't have any spawn trap cards to protect it, and then there's other hands where I just have a bunch of battle protection. But again, the thing that I could do with that hand was either Time Thief plus maybe Bestial Magnamut, or I could have had a Time Thief, Bestial Magnamut, or Barrier Statue. But Barrier Statue just, it wins a lot of games, but of course they've got the out right away, so it doesn't even matter. I don't even know why he set these cards and then activated this, but he drew the out. It's like whenever we have the Barrier Statue, they have an out like most of the time. He's gonna pop actually that, and then he can just attack over the Barrier Statue. This game's pretty much wrapped up now. I'm not playing through all of this back row and all of this other stuff. All right, we just lost the coin flip. This is a pretty decent hand, but it's a very going first hand. Our opponent's gonna playing Light Sworns. Okay, I'm already interested, and he's playing Groganith. And he's playing Jane, so I'm already quite interested in what's going on here. This looks doable right now, and he's got Lila. He's playing classic Light Sworn, so this is actually a doable matchup. He's going to discard Raiden, special Raiden with the being the card he discarded, mill 2, Electromagnetic Turtle plus Scream. That just changed everything. I was just so excited, and then I saw this. He's going to end phase. Okay, now he's going to mill 9 more cards, or not 6 more cards. He's going to mill another screen, Siren. So he's going to end phase. He's going to be able to summon something. And we'll see what he's able to summon. He's summoning the Kid Kalos. And then we're going to have an extensive end phase here. Then he's going to add the Tier Limit Kashtira. And he's going to mill some more. And then now it's finally our turn. Let's see what we're able to get here. Goblinberg. So we can Goblinberg into Barrier Statue, or we can just go into... And Goblinberg into Barrier Statue is probably best, so we're going to do that. We're going to activate Goblinberg, we're going to activate its effect. Yeah, we're going to special summon the... Wait, does this negate its effects? Nope, it just summons it, doesn't negate its effects. We're going to summon that in defense. Yeah, we're going to summon it in defense. Change both of them to defense, and then we're going to set 2 cards and pass here. And we have Threatening Roar, so at the very least we have that. And then next turn we can go into Suship, hopefully, and then we can do things, and then we can actually play the game. Next turn, they're going to go straight to the battle phase. We're going to activate the Threatening Roar to prevent them from attacking. And now I don't mind if they mill a bunch of cards in the end phase, because, I mean, we have the Barrier Statue, so they can't special summon anything anyway. So if they want to mill, they can mill out their entire deck if they want to, honestly. They're going to summon out... Yeah, they're going to mill a bunch, but again, they can't really special summon because, I mean, that activates, it's mandatory, but he can't use it, so nothing happens, and he's going to mill some more. He's got 30 cards left in his deck. We might be able to make something happen. Forbidden Chalice isn't the worst card in the world. Alright, we're going to normal summon this guy right here. And then we're going to... We can tribute to Balance, but that's not going to help anything. We're going to go into Suship 1 and 2. And we're going to summon out Suship. And with Suship, plus we have the Forbidden... Okay, so tough to tell what to do here. But we're going to go to battle phase. So we're going to attack over Raiden, because Raiden's getting him a lot of value right now. We want to attack that Electromagnetic Turtle. I forgot all about that stupid turtle. Nothing we can do there. He's going to Electromagnetic Turtle. We're going to set the Chalice and then pass here. I forgot all about the electromagnetic turtle. Let's see, it's back to his turn. He does have plays. He can attack over both of our monsters here. He's going to attack over the barrier statue, which there's not much we can do there. I sort of accept the reality of that. He's going to attack over the barrier statue. He's going to attack over this, and I'm just going to... Actually, I'm going to get it destroyed here. I'm going to activate Unbreakable Spirit. When a Smaller Trap card is activated, he can destroy our card. I mean, that doesn't really matter. He's going to be able to destroy it, but I mean, it's still going to resolve. So that's fine with me. And now we're going to be able to attack, do battle damage. And since this was activated, we're going to activate this. I think the best one to destroy is the Lumina. Funny enough, because Lumina lets him special summon, so I'll destroy the Lumina. And then we'll go... He does have plays here. He can make a level 8 Synchro Monster. I don't know what exactly he's going to make, but he can make a level 8 Synchro Monster. I destroyed the Lumina because Lumina allows a little bit too much here. I can actually negate this, but it's only going to send 2, so hopefully, fingers crossed, he doesn't mill anything too crazy. He literally milled some crazy stuff there. He milled Felice, which is actually able to out the Gungan Sioux ship. And then this is going to mill some more. I probably could have negated that, but I gotta watch out for other stuff. And then he milled another Felice, and Felice can pop more stuff. I was saving this for a Minerva, a possible Minerva, but this guy's kind of outrageous with how lucky he is. So now he can actually tribute, pop our card. He can also do a lot of other stuff. Now he's not even going to do that. He's going to go straight into a Minerva. Nope, it's going to be the Bujinki, which lets him mill 5. This card is actually another one that's quite good. I am actually going to go ahead and activate the Forbidden Chalice to negate that. He wasted those Felices because the Felices could have outed this Gungan Sioux ship. This lets him mill 5. This card's actually really good. This Bujinki monster, you can only really summon this with either the Felice, or you can also summon it with the Wolf, but it's the only ways to really summon it. Still got the Tearlament in hand, so he can mill and stuff like that. Now he can mill top 3 cards. And he's going to mill a screen again. This is a tough one. Like, in theory, this was possibly beatable. It just depended on what we had. But this quickly slid out of control for us. Now he's going to fuse Kid Kalos and the other one into Rukalos. This card is just a little too good for us. And then he's going to keep summoning here. Honestly, yeah, Minerva, I just don't have any resources. I don't have anything that I can really draw that can change the course of this game. Yeah, good game, though. Alright, we just lost a coin flip. Our hand is, again, looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good, but this is a very going first hand. So we've got Crackdown, Unbreakable Spirit, Forbidden Chalice, Barrier Statue. These are all cards that are great for going first, but going second, these are a little bit tough, I'm not going to lie. Our opponent's playing Dark Magician, which is pretty standard for gold. I think the Dark Magician is something you see quite often in gold. They're going to immediately go into a fusion, probably the Dark Magicians. They're going to go into, they fuse Dark Magician plus Palladium Oracle Mahad. This card's kind of annoying because it will float into 2 monsters, so even if we out it, they just go into more monsters. But if we out it with Barrier Statue on board, it's not too bad. Our hand is really, really not bad. So he has no back row to protect himself. He just has Dark Magician Girl in Graveyard. Again, this card floats, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to go ahead and normal summon this, and then we're going to set all of our other cards and just pass here. We're going to set everything else and pass, and I think we're actually in a decent situation here. So we're going to end phase here, and we're just going to wait for our opponent to do something, and then we respond to whatever they're going to do. That's our best situation. Alright, so our opponent's in main phase 1. Let's see what they're able to do, what phase they're going to go into. They go to battle phase. Obviously, we've got a ton of plays here. We're going to click on here. So our opponent's going to declare. No. Battle step. So the next one should be before damage calculation, right? Yes, damage calculation. So now we activate Unbreakable Spirit so that he can't chain the effect of the Dark Magicians. Perfect. We finally figured out how to do this. So we're going to gain a bunch of attack. And now this is going to get destroyed since since Dark Magician Girl are not fire monsters. He can't special summon because of the Barrier Statue. We finally figured it out. Now they're going to go to main phase 2. I don't know what they have face down, but that was definitely all very, very good plays. And now we can go back to our turn and make things happen. Finally, we figured out the damage step and all of that. We just have to turn the chaining on and then click the button twice until it says before damage calculation. So we finally figured it out. Good enough. Let's go normal summon the Familiar Possessed, and we can start attacking. Start wiping out his life points. Alright, so we're going to do some quick attacks. Yep, there you go. Barrier Statue attack and Mr. Familiar Possessed. And then we pass. Oh, and our opponent scoops. They can't beat the Barrier Statue. Which, to be fair, I had more stuff than the Barrier Statue in that loop. But yeah, that was a solid win. And we get a special cutscene here, which you know what that means. We've got the friendship rewards. We got the chain to us. So we've got the yellow chain done. Got 2 legacy tickets. Alright, let's open a legacy pack. Not a legacy pack. Let's open a master pack, see what we get. We have so much gold, I really need to blow it. I have so much gold. I actually have gold in the extras, so I need to definitely get as much as possible. We've got a Tri-Brigade Oath, which I don't believe is going to be usable for us because it's a Tri-Brigade card. Cubic Ascension, a second copy. That's crazy. But we need more cubics. That's what we actually need. We need more cubic Vidjoms, because if we draw this after the cubic seed, Vidjom the cubic seed is in the graveyard, this card is kind of useless if we draw it, so that kind of sucks. At Crow Tengu, this card overall is not bad. If it's special summoned from the graveyard, or if it's destroyed by an opponent's card effect, we can target an attack position monster opponent controls and destroy it. Not a bad card. It would be better if we had like revival effects. Ogdoadic Calling is actually special summon 2 Ogdoadic tokens. Alright, so this card's actually not bad. So it actually lets you summon 2 tokens. Pretty nice. Actually, it's not even a bad card. It doesn't lock you into anything. Roland is actually a really good card. So this definitely has to be thought up. We definitely have to come up with something to do with that Fire Warrior deck, or Warrior deck in general. Psy Reflector is a great card, but we don't have the pieces for it. Melfi Tag is graveyard, target a Melfi special summon, not enough Melfis. And then we've got Swords of Concealing Light is actually not a bad card. Wow. Okay, so we have Cubic Ascension, which at this moment I don't think I can really play, because I don't want to have more Ascensions than I actually have Cubics. Because the problem is, again, if we use it and we have a cubic in circulation, then the second one is kind of useless. I mean, it does get us to Vidjom more easily. So I want to get more of these, and I want to get more I wanted to get more Vidjoms more than I wanted to get more of this card. Because this card's good, but like the second effect is crazy. We can banish and then special summon 1 Vidjom, and then if only our opponent controlled a monster, we can special summon 2 Vidjoms. So we can actually summon 3 Vidjoms total, which I want to actually one day resolve the effect and summon 3 Vidjoms on the board. But this card doesn't really, I guess, help with that. But I mean, I guess it can. We'll look at it. We actually might end up playing this. This isn't a bad card, but we don't have any enough zombie support. Roland's good. We don't have the support for that. And Concealing Light is good because it's essentially, it can book our opponent's entire board. So non-targeting just books everything, which, again, going second, this card is actually not bad. Alright, let's open these Master Legacy packs. Let's see what we get out of these. Tons of good cards in here. We've got Big Koala and Soul Transition. Alright, so this card is actually not bad. Basically, what it lets you do is if you control no special summon monsters, you contribute a monster that, level 4, normal, summoned or set monster, draw 2 cards. Once per turn, can't special summon monsters the turn you activate this card. Actually not a bad card for a lot of our decks. The problem is if we end on Time Thief, this thing is kind of useless. So, yeah, this card's not bad. I mean, I guess it's definitely going in our control deck. It's actually a decent draw card. So, I don't know. We have to control no special summon monsters in order to use this effect, which is a little bit controversial, I'll say that. For this next pack, hopefully we get something else. That's really not a bad card. It's one that I've never heard of either. Wow, we have another copy of this. Select one face-up level 2 or lower normal monster. Special summon any number of those. Wow, we have 3 copies of this now? And we have 2 Ojama Yellows. That's crazy. Yeah, I said before, if we pulled 3 Ojama Yellows, I would play this, and we end up pulling 3 of the trap cards, so that makes the trap card even more. Book of Life, actually a pretty good zombie card. We just pulled a zombie card that was good. This is good for zombies, but we essentially have to go second, because you have to banish a card out of your opponent's graveyard to resolve it. Wow, this is actually... We have 3 usable cards. It's kind of crazy. Wow. Alright, so I'm looking at the deck. I honestly don't think that it's worth adding the second Cubic Ascension right now. Like, a lot of these cards that we pulled really aren't bad. Like, Cubic Ascension really isn't bad. This is really not bad. This isn't bad. This is really an interesting card, because sometimes we do, like, maybe not in this particular deck, because we usually end on a Time Thief Redoer, but there's a lot of decks, especially in, like, the control deck, where this is a usable card. Like, if we're in a situation where we're going to lose the barrier statue no matter what, it actually wouldn't be a bad idea just to activate this, get rid of the barrier statue, and draw 2 cards. Like, if there are situations like that, it's one of our only draw cards. But at this moment, I don't think there's any changes that I'm going to make to this deck. Like I said, we actually pulled very usable cards, but right now, mid-episode, I don't think it's worth making the changes to this deck. Alright, we just lost the coin flip, and our opponent chose to go first. We have a pretty good hand. This is a really good going first hand. Really good going first hand. But unfortunately, we are going second. So I guess we'll have to see what our opponents... They're going to scoop! Okay, good enough. I don't even know what they're playing. I'm going to go check it out just for... I just want to see what they're playing. We have another cutscene here. And we got another Bond of the Duelist. We've got the title. So we've got the yellow thing. We completed the yellow. And we've got another one. We also got the green. So we got the green and the yellow for that one. I guess we might end up completing all of these. And we got a rank up right now. So we got 100 gems. And on top of that, we got all of this stuff. Which we got this dude again. The Great Phantom Thief. Yeah, so we can declare a card and then discard all of those. Not even a terrible card, honestly. Alright, this is what our opponent was playing. The deck's pretty crazy. We probably would have lost. I don't know what this is. It's like Vanquished Soul with some of the... Yeah, it's a Vanquished Soul deck. We would have lost to this. And then out of curiosity, this is the Dark Magician deck that we were playing previously, which they just didn't, they didn't play right, I guess, or they didn't build right. Maybe they just drew a bad hand. Alright, let's open a Master Pack from this totally 100% undeserved win. The last one was pretty good. Pretty solid pack. We got a lot of decent stuff. I wouldn't complain about any of it. We got a... This is a Speedroid monster. It's pretty cool. Target one face of monster your opponent controls. Synchro summon using it. We don't have enough synchros to really use it right now, but that's not bad. Vision Hero Minimum Ray. This card, actually, multiple people. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Arm Dragon level 7 and Ancient Gear Hydra. And, alright, so that just all got spoiled, but whatever. I clicked here by accident, and now I click there by accident again. Let's see. So we'll just go through them one by one. I don't think this card is usable because we need to, like, tribute using gadgets, so... Don't have any of those yet. This is our second copy of level 7, which you actually need to fuse to make the other monster. And then we've got the Sprite Smashers, which is like quite a decent card. Yeah, we can... all these effects are actually quite good, so... You know, we actually do have sprites available to us, so that is pretty cool. So we do have that card. We have some sprites. We have the Sprite Summoning from the deck spell, and then we have Sprite Carrot, so we don't have too bad of a Sprite card. Minimum Ray isn't really going to be super usable right now. The Prophecy Hermit, we don't have a lot of those cards. Speedroid, this one's not bad, but again, we don't have the Wind Synchros needed to make that. This goes definitely in our Pendulum pile until I read them all, and then Clayman's not really usable, so even though it's spoiled, not the worst pack, but definitely not the best. Alright, let's open these legacy tickets. Let's see what we get out of these. Our legacy ticket last time was actually like quite good. It's just usable cards. Pitch Black Werewolf isn't like the worst card in the world. I think it's good in Speed Duel. Muscle Medic is one that I would have 100% played a long time ago. It's probably going in our Warrior deck. Basically, it's 2200 normal summon, but our opponent gains life points for any damage they take from this card instead of losing the life points, which kind of sucks. Sometimes if you attack directly, they gain 22. Kind of annoying, but he has 2200 and can get over a lot of stuff. So again, this is one of those cards, like both of those cards, if we had pulled them in episode like 1 through 5, I would have played them without even thinking about it. We've got Beast Rage. Okay, so if we had a ton of beasts and Wing Beast Vanish, that could really beef up our monster. And then we've got the Anteater Eating Ant, which is a cool card, but I don't think it's going to be too usable. You have to send 2 spawn trap cards you control to the graveyard, which is kind of a lot for a 2000 attack monster. This is, again, another card that I would have used in the first 10 episodes, but at this point, I think it's just not good enough. Alright, we just won the coin flip. Our hand is looking okay. You've got Forbidden Chalice, Memory Loss, Bestial Magnamut, and Familiar Possessed. We don't have Time Thiefer, but we do have Magnamut. which is an interruption plus a search plus a special summon. So not a bad card if our opponent, you know, plays lights or darks, which most people do play lights or darks, so we'll probably be able to pull that off. And the Memory Loss and Forbidden Chalice are both essentially monster negates, so we have 3 decent cards. So we're just going to set these 3, and then I'm just going to normal summon the Wind out, the Wind Charmer, and I'm just going to pass here. I think that should be decent enough. We've got 2 interruptions that are guaranteed, 2 monster negates guaranteed, and then we've got a Bestial Magnemite, which is sometimes it can be. This card is really good. It can be an interruption plus a negate. Yeah, it can potentially interrupt, which can negate a card. So if our opponent like targets something in the graveyard, a special summon, and we banish it, it's an interruption. So it can make our opponent go -1. And then of course it can special summon itself, and then of course it searches on summon. So 3 amazing effects on 1 card. Our opponent's going to set 4, which is a little concerning because if they're playing Labyrinth, we might as well lose now. They're going to normal summon this hamster thing. I don't know what this does. Yeah, this is a lot of reading. Our opponent's going to attack us. It's 2,000 attack. I'm going to go ahead and Forbidden Chalice on our own monster to make it gain 400 attack. So they're going to lose their monster, and we don't have to worry about thinking what these counters do. This actually isn't that bad. 2,000 attack normal summon, but it can't be used as material for any of this stuff. But it is a 2,000 attack normal summon, which I guess isn't bad, especially for our fire deck. So this might, yeah, we might play that card. It's not, if we ever pull it. Barrier Statue's not bad. He doesn't have anything that we can really get over, but we're gonna just go into. I mean, he doesn't have the. He doesn't have anything that we can Bestial Magnemite right now, so we're just gonna normal summon the Barrier Statue and just go to battle phase. If he allows us to. He's going to activate Unfortunate Report, which lets us conduct our battle phase twice. Okay. Is this a bot? Man. It's like bad players, bots, and then a bunch of nonsense. Alright, and then 8 or 1. If your life points are lower than your opponent's. Player who activated the cards, life points become 1,000. I'll take it. So our opponent will lose a ton of life points. That's quite something. Alright, let's enter the battle phase. Honestly, I think that's even better than a regular self-decay bot. That was very very efficient. That was incredibly efficient on our opponent's part. They got themselves to 0 with 1 turn. It was like a self-decay. Self-FTK, actually. Yeah, that was actually quite interesting to play against. We're going to get another cutscene here. We got this cool logo. Look at this logo. That's a beautiful logo. Awesome looking logo. And then we're going to get another one, which is this pink reward here. So that thing is cool, kind of cool. It reminds me of Pokerus, if anybody knows what that is. So in Pokemon, there's like a virus that your Pokemon have, and then they have an easier time getting like certain stats. But they used to have them in the old Pokemon games where you spread it from Pokemon to Pokemon by trading, by battling, and you can get it from other people. And now it's like a cool system that they implemented. We've got 3 legacy tickets. All right, let's crack open this master pack. Let's see what we get. We have no hollows, but honestly, like I said, there's a lot of rares I'm still looking for, so I don't really care. We've got another Cosmo card that's pretty cool. Yeah, so monsters destroyed by Cosmo monsters shuffled into the deck. Banish this. Take battle damage from Cosmo. Gain that life points. Not the worst card in the world. If we had a ton of Cosmos, it'd be much better. Yeah, not a bad card. Just at this point, maybe not super playable because we don't have a ton of Cosmos. We have another Twin, which is pretty good because we have a few other Unchained cards, so we've got to keep an eye on that. The problem is we don't have the Link monsters to really link summon. This is for Ritual monsters, doesn't really help us. Glorious Numbers. So this card is only really good with number monsters that are but with number exceed monsters. Fortunately, Time Thief is not a number, so if Time Thief was a number, I think we could really get away with using this card. It's actually not bad. But unfortunately, it just doesn't work with our particular number monsters. Kasha is not really too good of a card, but it's also a zombie, which we don't have too much zombie. Wow, Witch of the Black Forest is pretty good. That is pretty good. I am probably going to play that because that can essentially search. And it's a spellcaster. I'm playing this. I'm playing this 1,000,000%. It's probably going to replace one of the generic like spellcasters that I've thrown in there, because if this gets linked away, we get the search for free. And yeah, we can't use those effects that turn, but like depending on what we search, how much defense? No, I was gonna say Bestial Magnum, but we can't search that. We can search Tiamon, the Tiamon Dragon. We can actually search that monster. This is actually a really good pull. So if we link the monsters, we can use it. The problem is if we use this to Xseed summon, when you detach from Xseed materials don't count as being on the field. They're just kind of in their own like separate portal. So they don't go from field to graveyard. So unfortunately, that's not going to trigger. And then let's see what we've got. Have we gotten this before? No, we haven't. We got some other card, but this card's not really usable because we don't have any of the components. But this is actually a really awesome pull. Probably going in the deck immediately. I thought it was going to be a royal rare. That would have been a really cool royal rare. And then here's a super here. We've got a Gemnite Quartz, which I don't think is going to be super usable because, yeah, it basically sets a fusion continuous spell. And then it locks you into Gemnites, which we don't have. And gives you more stuff if you use Gemnites, but that's not going to work. But who cares, because we've got Witch of the Black Forest, which is 1,000,000% a usable card, and definitely going in the deck. Alright, so let's see what these Master packs have for us. These Master Legacy tickets. See what we got out of here. We've got Anti-Raigeki, not happening. Stuffed Animal. This is an old McDonald's card. Isn't that crazy? So we've got that Anti-Raigeki. I mean, I don't even know why that card really ever existed. This is an old card. A really old, weird-looking card. And then we've got Gravity Crush Dragon. I remember this was in the Jesse Anderson pack. I remember. Yeah, you can send one continuous spell you control to the graveyard. Target one monster your opponent controls. Destroy that target. Not the worst card in the world. But I still wouldn't really play it. But yeah, that was in the Jesse Anderson Duelist pack way back when, because you could send a Crystal Beast and destroy a card. So pretty cool effect there. And then we've got Battle Instinct. Alright, so this lets you summon a level 4 Beast type monster. Level 4 lower Beast type monster if your opponent declares a direct attack. I don't see how that's too playable for us. And then we've got Inspiration. Can make a monster we control gain 700 attack. I mean, we can play this technically with the barrier statue, but it only makes you gain 700 attack. So if they summon an 1800 attack monster, we essentially lose it. I don't think it's that good. Forbidden Chalice is just better. Alright, so I'm taking a look at this deck, and honestly the card I think I'm going to replace is this Golden Summoner. This card hasn't been too bad, but you know, I can either replace that or I can take out like Dark or Win or something like that. But honestly, their stats are just a little bit better, so I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the... Yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of the Golden Summoner, even though this card's pretty good because it can bounce a card. But honestly, this hasn't come up like a ton. It's not bad removal, but it's just, it hasn't been coming up, so I'm going to get rid of it. And I'm going to put in the Witch of the Black Forest. Statistically speaking, this card is slightly better. And then, I mean, technically this is better. Why don't I just get rid of that? I guess this lets you draw sometimes. That's why I'm playing this. Alright, so after much deliberation, I'm actually getting rid of the Endymion instead. And I'm going to play the Witch of the Black Forest. I'm going to save the Witch of the Black Forest. The Witch of the Black Forest, I'm going to cut the Endymion. I'm going to leave this Golden Summoner thing because it does bounce stuff. This card is actually quite good. Because, again, if we link with it, if we synchro with it, if we do anything except for Xseed summon with it, it pretty much gets you a free resource. So in terms of what cards it can actually search any monster with 1500 or less defense. So it can search Tiamon, it can search Dragoodies, and then we can just place Dragoodies, so that's pretty cool. It can search this, and this, and this, and it can search most of our monsters. This is summoning condition, so we can actually use it. It can search the Tiamon, so we can set it up and activate our opponent's turn. It can search Yugioh. Can't search Arborea. It can search the barrier statue, which is quite cool. It can search God. It can search almost our entire monster lineup, which is saying a lot. It can search a lot of cards, and it's more search power that we have because we don't actually have a ton of search power. And sometimes we have hands where we're going first and we don't draw barrier statue and can't make Time Thief. It'd be nice to like set this face down and, you know, put a couple of spell trap cards down, and then we can just, you know, hopefully it gets attacked and we can like search something. So it's definitely a pretty cool card. Alright, we just lost the coin flip. Our hand is looking okay. Not the worst hand in the world, but it's definitely a playable hand here. Oh, we just lost the coin flip, but we're going first. Okay, so I didn't expect that. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to actually normal summon the Crowley. And I'm going to activate Messenger of Peace if our opponent allows us to. I'm waiting for him to respond here, but I'm going to activate Messenger of Peace, set Power Frame, set Shrink. Probably leave Dragoodies alone, so I'm going to go ahead and... Actually, what does this do? We can activate to declare an attribute. Honestly, I think I'm going to do that to bait and negate, so if our opponent has something. Declare an attribute. We're going to make it... Doesn't matter. We're going to make it divine. We're going to activate it just in case our opponent has like a Veiler or Imperm or something like that. So we're going to see if we can bait something out of them. And we don't. But, you know, you never know. They also could have gammed us. But I don't think the gamma was something I was too worried about. So we're going to activate the Messenger of Peace. And I'm going to activate... Do I set Shrink? Is there a point to set Shrink? No, there's no point to set Shrink because we already have Power Frame. I'm just going to save the Shrink for next turn. And on that note, I think I'm just going to pass here. Plus, Shrink's going to bother me the entire next turn, so I'm going to save what I have in hand. Because again, Shrink, I don't believe actually helps us right now. Because if he outs the Messenger of Peace, then we have the Power Frame, and that should be better than what we have. The Shrink's not going to aid any more than what we already have available. He has the Mystical Space Typhoon specifically. He's going to actually not even he's not even going to use it on Messenger Piece. He's going to use it on Power Frame. He's going to go to end phase. Fantastic. All right, let's go. Now we can start doing things. So we're going to activate the effect of the Messenger of Peace. I am not going to pay the cost. I'm going to normal summon out the Dragoodies I want to start playing. And I don't know what our opponent's playing, but I want to start playing. So I'm going to go ahead and make Time Thief Redoer if I can. But not immediately, because first I'm going to attack. And then I'm going to make Time Thief Redoer. So let's go to battle phase. I start attacking our opponent for some amount of damage here. We have 33 on board right now. Do a quick 33. And then go into Time Thief because he actually does stuff on our opponent's turn, whereas these cards don't really do much. I mean, technically, the Dragoodies searches and stuff, but it's not quite as good. So now let's go Overlay. We can go into a variety of different cards here, as you can see. We can even go into this if we needed to. It's quite good. 2300, not bad for a Link 2. So I think what I'm going to go into, like I said, is the Time Thief Redoer. He's just the best option that we've got. He does the most for us, and then we've got multiple interruptions here. So we have Time Thief and a possible variety of interruptions, and then of course we've got the Ledger Book, which also is quite a good interruption too, because it can get rid of up to 2 monsters. And then we have this Shrink, which can save us some damage if our opponent attacks us or something like that. So not the worst, not the best. So we're going to go ahead and get the Time Thief Redoer going. Let's see what we pull off our opponent's deck here. Hopefully it's not a monster. We get monster a ton. So we're going to get something. Again, we're hoping for not monster. We're hoping for spell, trap, but not monster. He's going to chain Mystical Space Typhoon again to our middle card, which is the book, which does suck for us. We'd lose the book. I didn't want to lose the book. I would rather have lost Shrink, but things happen, whatever. We lose the book. We're going to get Mystical Space Typhoon. We're going to get a monster again. That really sucks. I hate that we get the monster so much. But I mean, I can't really complain. He's going to end phase, especially since he goes to end phase. We really can't complain. We can't really complain about getting monster because it's the most common thing to get. We've got Small World, can't really do much with that. We're going to activate the effect of Time Thief. Again, hoping for something other than a monster here. I can't tell if our opponent bricked or what's going on with them, but they've had nothing but Mystical Space Typhoon for 2 turns. We're going to get a spell card. Tune Table of Contents. Okay, we're going to activate Time Thief Redoer. Depending on what we get to, this can be quite good for us. What are they playing? They're probably playing Tunes. They're probably playing Tunes, and Tunes can be a bricky deck. We're going to detach the Tune Table of Contents, and we're going to draw a card. We're not going to detach anything else. Paleozoic Dinomischus isn't bad. It's a decent interruption. So we do have now an out to Tune Kingdom if he goes into it. I'm pretty sure, like I said, he's playing Tunes because we discarded this, and then he had that. If he has Tune Kingdom, I already know exactly what I'm going to use my Paleozoic Dinomischus on. But knowing him, he's got another copy of... Yeah, knowing him, he's got another copy of Mystical Space Typhoon randomly to get rid of our card. So if we manage to survive this turn, then we more than likely can win this duel. So we'll see what we get here. We've got Time Thief going off. And I'm going to put the chaining on because that's a trap. Okay, that's good. I want to see... We can probably win this. We can more than likely win this because we have 2 interruptions. We can put a monster on the top of his deck. He's going to get rid of something to summon Blacklist or Soldier. And I do have a response to this. He has the ability to banish 1 monster if he controls Toon World. But I'm going to go ahead actually and activate... I think I'm going to activate the Dinomischus right now to banish his monster. Actually, we can put Toon World on top of his deck, so that's fine. So we're going to activate Dynamiscus. We're going to target the Blackluster Soldier. And we're going to discard Small World. Yeah, so we're going to discard that. And if he has the Toon Kingdom, and he's going to scoop. Okay, so if he had Toon Kingdom, I could have put it on the top of his deck, and then next draw phase, I could have put it underneath my Time Thief Redoer. So that would have given us a guaranteed draw. So we won anyway. I'm happy about that. We've got another cutscene here. So we've got the quarter century frame icon. All of this is really cool. Like, really, look at this. This is such a great idea. And now we've got this fat boy right here with the appetite. We've got the nefariousness, another kind of hard to find card. I think this is a world championship card. And then we've got the legacy ticket. And let's go see what our opponent was playing, actually. All right, let's see why. This is why our opponent bricked so badly. I mean, Toons is inherently kind of a bricky deck because you've got monsters that like have a million attack points. So what probably happened is he didn't have any normal summons. The only normal summons in his deck is the Blackstone of Legend, and then a bunch of like bricky cards. Honestly, looking at this might have been the same deck we lost to last time, where they just randomly opened Comic Hand and then beat us because of it. First things first, he needs another copy of this. You need 3 of this, and then you could definitely get rid of all of this stuff right here. 3 copies of this, and then this extra deck is kind of a disaster, but this deck doesn't even really care that much about the extra deck. But overall, I'm happy we won. All right, let's open this master pack here. Let's see what we get. So we've got Rose Paladin, destroys an opponent's monster battle, sends to the grave, tribute card, special summon plant. Not a bad card, actually. You can summon any plant. I gotta look at what plants we have. This is a warrior, so it definitely goes into our warrior deck. We can send this card from our hand to the graveyard, add a level 7 or higher plant from the deck to the hand. That effect is honestly not bad either. I just have to look at what we have, but both of those effects are solid. Both effects. And you can tribute this card, special summon a plant from your hand or deck in defense position. Any level plant can be summoned off of this card. So this actually might not be too bad. Again, I have to look at what plants we have, but overall, as a warrior monster goes, this is really not bad. Next, we've got, what in the world is this? Another level 6. Damn, all of these level 6s. Alright, so this card actually isn't bad. We don't really have a way to get to it because it requires level 6 monsters, which unfortunately, we have some decent Exceed monsters that are level 6, but we don't have a lot of level 6s that are usable. So I don't know if we can really summon this, but all of these effects are honestly pretty good. If it has no materials, double damage, that's pretty good. Detach a material, target a banished dinosaur, special summon, that's good. This card's destroyed by battle. This card's destroyed, special summon normal monster. Shuffle one normal monster into the deck from your graveyard, special summon. Like, all 3 effects are great, but I don't believe that we have the components to make that card yet. This is not a good card. Alien Mothers, we don't have enough alien. Wall of Thorns is actually not a bad card. This is basically like Mirror Force if we have enough plants, but unfortunately, we don't actually have a ton of plants. But this is actually a pretty good card. Like, it's Mirror Force if we control a plant, but we don't have any. We do have plants, but we don't have enough where we can build an entire deck around plants at this point. But it's not a bad card whatsoever. Express Roid's one of the better Roid cards, but I'm not playing Roids. Malefic Rainbow Dragon's not bad, but we don't have the Rainbow Dragon, and we don't have a field spell. Runic Dispel lets us summon a runic monster from our extra deck to an extra monster. I gotta look at which ones we have. Do we have Jerry? I gotta look at which ones we have. That might be a decent card. We might be able to use this. I'll look. If your opponent adds a card during the draw phase, discard a random card from your opponent's hand. This isn't like terrible. This isn't terrible. Banish 2 off the top of it. This card's not terrible, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to use it. But overall, this pack was kind of again, it's just more stuff that goes into different decks, but nothing to like go into our main deck. All right, let's open this legacy pack. Seems to be glowing. That's pretty cool. Then we've got Utopia. We've got the glowing. I can't wait. We've got, wow, that's a really cool looking card. Giganto. Level 5, 1700 attack. Not happening. And then we've got Night Lizard, which is an aqua that is 1150. Pretty cool looking card. Not going to be used. Overall, 2 cool looking cards, but not anything usable. Alright, so I just double checked. This is our first runic card, so we don't have any of the other runic cards. So unfortunately, we don't have the runic monsters needed to really go with this. If we did have the level 4, I probably would have played it, but we don't. So fortunately, this card doesn't go in our deck yet. Alright, we just won the coin flip. Our hand looks pretty solid here. Not the worst hand in the world. I think we're just going to normal summon the Inkari Flame. And then we're going to activate Messenger of Peace. And then we're going to set the Forbidden Chalice and the other card face down. So I think we're just going to set these two. And we're going to pass here. Not the worst hand in the world, but certainly not like the greatest hand ever. And then we've got some decent playable cards here. Not like anything outrageous, but definitely playable stuff here. We have a monster negate, and we can banish up to 2 monsters. He's going to normal summon or special summon the Ecclesia, which does suck. I hate what we're about to deal with, but I couldn't really do anything about that. Obviously, he's playing Sword Soul. He's going to be able to summon the Mo Yi right now, and then if he activates Mo Yi, we're in a little bit of trouble here. If he special summons Mo Yi, activates it, gets the tokens, all that stuff. We'll see how this goes. We're not dead yet, but he's going to summon Iris Sword Soul. I'm not going to lie, I did not expect the Iris Sword Soul. But he's going to summon Iris Sword Soul. He also could have summoned some other or Fallen of Albaz. So he's going to summon the Mo Yi, which, what did he just reveal? He summoned Mo Yi, and he revealed Bixie. I think I'm going to actually Forbidden Chalice right now so he can't get the token, because the token's the tuner. Without the token, they have no tuners, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. That way he gets that. He can't attack us anyway, so right now that gets negated, and he doesn't get to do all of his Sword Soul plays right now. He can't go into the level 12. He can't go into any of the other monsters, so that, I think, is probably the best situation for us. Alright, he's going to end his turn, which is fine with me. I want to see what I draw here. I get the Golden Summoner. I am going to... Honestly, there's no point for me to... Yeah, this is a rough situation for us here. So if we special summon a monster from the extra deck, destroy one of those special summon monsters, which kind of sucks because he can out our Time Thief. But fortunately with Time Thief actually can like save himself, which is quite nice. So I'm going to go ahead and activate this, and I'm going to pay the life points, yes. So what we can do is we have Meiteon here, which can put these back in his hand. But if we put him back in his hand, it actually is worse for us to put it back in his hand, unfortunately, because, I mean, he could just reuse these cards. This thing special summons itself if there's a negated monster, and then this card, if it's summoned, gets to summon a token. So we actually don't want him to be able to do that. So we're going to just normal summon this, and now, again, this doesn't really do anything either. We don't want to bounce either of these cards right now. We're going to special summon Time Thief, because he can technically destroy the monster, but Time Thief can respawn and banish itself, so we don't have to worry too much about the Time Thief. We don't have to worry too much about Time Thief because he can protect himself. So he can activate this effect to destroy Time Thief, but Time Thief can banish himself, so it doesn't really matter. He's going to activate that. We're going to activate Time Thief, and he's going to be off the board before he can resolve his effect. So Time Thief is actually the perfect monster for this situation. We're going to detach that, not that it matters, and now he has no target to destroy. And we just go to end phase, because again, we can't use our normal summon right now anyway, because Meiteon eats up a normal summon. We already normal summon, so we're going to get back Time Thief, and now we can hopefully get a trap off the top of his deck, and then we can start making some more moves here. I don't really like to sit behind Messenger of Peace, but like we draw it so often. We draw Messenger of Peace more than we draw anything else. Okay, that's pretty good. Harpy's Feather Rusted. That would have really helped him. That's really good. I'm happy we got that. That's awesome. We don't have a monster, so we can't dodge around stuff. So if we lose him, we lose him. He's going to activate this. He's going to reveal the box here. I am going to put the chaining on. I'm going to allow him to summon the token. And what I'm going to do is tokens don't return to the field, which is really good. Because when we use the ledger book, tokens never going to come back, which is quite nice. So we're going to go ahead and activate the ledger book, and we're going to banish the token. And I'm not going to banish. I mean, should I banish another card? I guess yes, we want to banish another card so he can't make more plays. So we'll banish the Mo Yi. That way he can't like make a... yeah, the token's never coming back, but that way he can't make like a Link 2 with the worm monsters. I forget what it's called. The Link 2 worm monster. The one that the Tenyi one, he can't make that card, so I'm going to prevent him from making that, and then he's going to get the what's it called back at the end phase. He's gonna get back one of the cards, but not the other. He's gonna end of main phase, end phase. He's gonna be able to get his effect off. I'm gonna go ahead and activate Time Thief because I want to draw. So I'm gonna draw, and he's only gonna get one monster back. The other one never comes back. Like I said, tokens never return to the field, which is quite good. So now he's gone through 2 Moyis. There Can Only Be One is an outrageous draw. That's really, really good. We're going to go ahead and activate Time Thief. I don't think we're in a position yet to turn off our own card. That's pretty good. Yeah, we're not in a position yet to turn off our Messenger of Peace, so I'm going to keep it online for the 100 life points. And I'm going to turn the chaining from on to off. I'm going to go ahead and set the Familiar Possessed for now, because we can't attack anyway with it. So I'm just going to set them Familiar Possessed, and I'm going to go ahead and end phase here. And depending on what our opponent has, we're not gonna shotgun out the There Can Only Be One. We want to see what our opponent does, and then we're gonna activate There Can Only Be One, because There Can Only Be One is actually like an auto win against Sword Soul. So depending on what we get, it can be very good. Dang, we get better stuff off the top of his deck than he gets off the top of his deck. Perfect. This is the perfect card. He's going to send one other Sword Soul to the graveyard, and now we're going to chain There Can Only Be One. So he's going to be locked into one singular worm, which is the worm that he has on field. The card that he discards isn't going to be able to... he's going to discard a card. This card's not going to resolve. He's going to have to send one to the graveyard, and this is just going to fizzle. So that was great. That was like a big like -2 for him. So that was fantastic. And then we've got other plays here that we're going to make. We just have to find a way to get over this Sword Soul, and then I can get rid of my... whatever this is called, I can get rid of my Messenger of Peace as soon as I have an out to this. I'm going to switch some stuff to defense mode. Like I said, I just really need to... Oh shoot, I didn't mean to activate that. Damn, I'm so dumb for that. I didn't mean to activate that. I don't even know why I clicked that. But whatever, we're going to get our monster back. I just totally did not mean to do that. That was a complete mistake, misplay, whatever you want to call it. I should not have done that. We're going to activate the Time Thief. I hope that doesn't come up. We get a spell card. I hope that doesn't come up, like, comes up in hand, like, where it matters. We're going to activate the effect of this, resolve it, pay 1,000, and then we're going to activate the Time Thief Redoer to draw another card. And we're going to draw Small World, which is quite a good card. Again, this thing really is kind of annoying here. The Iris Sword Soul is kind of annoying. So we have to find a way to out this Iris Sword Soul. We can definitely summon out the Barrier Statue, but again, we don't really have an out to his stuff. So I think we just sit on what we have and we just pass here. For now, we just pass on what we have. So we're going to activate the Time Thief, get a card off of his deck. It's a monster. So we're back where we were originally. So now I feel a lot more comfortable. But we do have Small World. Small World is quite good. He's going to end phase, go to our turn. He can't really do anything right now. Unbreakable Spirit's pretty good. We're going to activate the Time Thief Redoer. Going to get a monster card, another Ash Blossom. And then Unbreakable Spirit, target when you control one face-up monster. So we can actually technically use this under our card, but it's fine. So we're going to go ahead and pay one more time. Yes, we want to pay. And again, this card's really good right now. It's really useful for him. We can go into a variety of things. Alright, I'm going to activate the Small World. And yeah, I want to activate Small World. And I want to get rid of the Tiamon, because right now it's not doing much for us. I'm going to banish the Barrier Statue, one of the Barrier Statues, in order to search out Tiamon, which can allow us to get out of this situation finally. I mean, we can search Tiamon or we can search this, but I think Tiamon's probably the better card to search. So we're going to search that out, and then we can finally get rid of this because it's on summon. It activates. What else does it do? This lets him, if we summon a monster from our hand, he can special summon a monster from his hand, which is fine because he can't summon anything from his hand right now. So we're going to set, and now we're going to activate Tiamon. And we're going to special summon a monster out. So we're going to special summon it right here. And it's going to pop everything. He can technically activate his effect, but he has nothing to special summon, like I said. And now, next turn, I think we're going to be able to go into our rank 4 plays, do all that stuff. Actually, let's check what rank 4 plays we have right now. Technically, we do have rank 4 plays. I just can't let me scroll them up right now. We can go into this dude right here, Mech Knight Crusader Avermax, but I don't think that's going to be super useful right now. Yeah, so next turn, I'm going to start making more plays, but right now I think I'm just going to pass on what we have. We're in a really, like I said, really good game state right now, where we can, depending on what we draw from Goblinberg, we can actually get to a variety of really useful things right now. We got another monster. And this guy's not even playing a half bad deck. He's actually playing quite a good deck. It's a matter of if he can get to Blackout or not. Blackout is obviously very good. There Can Only Be One is really good against his deck in general, but Blackout can out the There Can Only Be One. So we just have to kind of protect against that. Our opponent's going to Tribute Set. I imagine that is the Sovereign dude. The larger monster, whatever that is. So I imagine it's one of those. So we're going to draw Dragoodies, which is quite cool. And we're going to activate the effect of Time Thief Redoer to get a card. I'm going to take, it's a spell card, that's not bad. And then I'm actually going to resolve this. I'm actually not going to pay. No, I don't want to pay the life points anymore, so I want to be able to start attacking. We're going to flip the Wind Charmer. I'm going to activate the Time Thief's effect to detach the draw card. Yeah, I want to detach draw card. That's pretty cool. So we can actually go normal summon. Oh, I guess we can't because it's a warrior. Whatever. It's not that serious, though. We can actually go to battle phase and attempt to attack over this. Or we can not. Yeah, that's what I'm probably going to do. I'm going to go ahead and start attacking over this stuff. Because we can go into the... Yeah, none of these are really going to help all that much. I mean, I guess we can actually go into the Masquerading dude. Because it's... Oh, no, it's a spellcaster, so we can't even go into him, honestly. You can go into Diamond Direwolf, pop this card, but I don't think that's going to help too much. I think what we do is we just activate the Dragoodies and the Pendulum Scale. So for whatever reason we can't get over this monster, we will be able to get over it. So we're going to go to battle phase. How much does the Sovereign dude have? I'm going to check right now. The Sovereign dude that he activated a couple turns ago. That's the one he probably tributed for. Yeah, he probably tributed for this dude, which has 2,300 defense. So 2,300 defense, we're going to attack straight over it. Yep, he's gone. And now we just attack him directly with all the monsters. And that should be good. Right there. And then if he has anything that he suddenly draws that's quite good, we do have the out. Should we set this? I think we set this. Yeah, we set this. And if he attacks, we can steal his monster. And then we just pass here. Now what I had there is I could have used all of our monsters to get to the G-Golem right now. But I don't think G-Golem really helps us in this situation. So I'm cool. I don't need to summon him. Could have summoned him. I could have maybe made another Link. Oh, that's pretty good too. And we got a trap card. It's Imperm. Imperm really doesn't do much for him right now anyway. The card he really needs is Blackout. Blackout will save him. Whereas everything else just doesn't really help him all that much. But Blackout would have actually legitimately saved him in this duel. Yeah, looking back at our original hand, this is our original hand. It's Inkari Fire, Messenger of Peace, Forbidden Chalice, the Ledger Book, and Madeon. That was not a hand that in any way should have competed with a Sword Soul deck. Like, that was just... This was not... We shouldn't be anywhere in this game right now. We just should not be in the game right now. It's incredible that we're even here. That first hand, you would never think would get you this far into the game. I'm going to go ahead and actually save the draw. I don't really need to draw. If I just get over this monster, that's actually game, because we have 76, so minus 24, that's game. So if we can wipe out this monster and attack directly, this should be game. So we'll see what it is, but depending on what it is, yeah, it's more than likely game. Our first hand, which should not have resulted in a win against a deck of this caliber. This is easily like a tier 2 deck. This is way above where we're supposed to be. And that hand was really quite an awkward hand. So for us to have won that is actually kind of incredible. All right, let's see what we get here. We've got 2 legacy tickets. All right, let's go crack this pack open. We've got a master pack. Let's see what we get inside here. Not bad. It's glowing. So let's see what we get. Have we pulled any ultras this episode? I don't even know. Shadow Tune's not going to help us. This is an Abyss Actor card. We don't have enough of those. This is actually not a bad card. Is it generic? It's totally generic. We can banish... Well, it's 2,300, level 6. So this is our... Not second level 6. We have quite a few level 6s. This card is Synchro Summoned. Banish a fish Level 6 or lower fish from the deck. If this card's sent to the graveyard, target a fish in your graveyard, banish it, add 1 fish. So this is a bunch of fish stuff. We don't have a ton of fish to use with it. So not yet. Yosenjus, don't have enough of them. This isn't actually a bad card. Wow, this is actually really not a bad card. Especially if we have a lot of the Infinitrack cards. I'm actually quite happy to pull. That's really not a bad card. Gen X Alley Solid is once per turn, send a face of water Gen X monster to graveyard, draw 2 cards. I don't know if we've got any, but that's a little too specific. We've got another Speedroid card. The problem with the Speedroids is we've actually pulled a lot of Speedroids, like a lot of Speedroid main deck monsters, but the problem is we don't have like the supporting cast, like the Synchro monster, so that's not going to be usable. Then we've got Hayate, which I don't think we have the main deck Sky Striker monster, so I don't think we're going to be able to use this. It is cool that it attacks directly. I don't know. Do we have a Kagari? We might have a Kagari. That might actually, like, funny enough, it might actually go in our warrior deck. Because if I remember correctly, Kagari is a warrior, so we can summon Kagari, link Kagari away, go into this, attack directly for 15 anytime we want to. And then we can, you know, make link plays and stuff like that. So that might actually go in our warrior deck. Alright, let's open these legacy tickets. I thought we got 3. Oh, never mind. I guess we got 2. We've got 2 legacy tickets. Let's see what we got out of these. We've got Signet Cascade. Not a bad card, but I don't... Do we have this? And we have it already. Not a bad card, but a little bit slow. This is a kind of a cool... Looks like the dude from One Piece NL. Not bad, but, I mean, stats kind of suck on this card. Not the most horrific card on the planet, but it's definitely not going to be usable for us. And then we've got Master Craftsman Gamil. Okay, so this card is like a generic Honest for any monster. Anytime one of our monster battles, we can discard this, but it only makes them gain 300 attack. That's so bad. It's just so weak. And let's see what this is. Wow, that's actually a good card. Celestial Double Star Shaman. The problem is I don't think this is going to be usable for us, but this is actually not a bad card. We can special summon up to 4 level 2 non-tuner monsters from our hand or graveyard. Defense position effects are negated. This is really legitimately not a bad card, but I don't think that we can actually summon this. It requires a level 1, essentially 2 level 1 monsters. One's a tuner, one's not. I mean, if we had a level 1 tuner plus like a token, for example, this could be like kind of decent, but again, what would it even summon? It could summon Vidrom. That's, you know. Actually, no, it can't summon. It has to summon level 2s. I don't know. This is a little awkward. Like, it's good in the decks where it can be used, but in a lot of decks, it's very unusable. So I don't know if we're ever going to be able to use that card, but it's definitely not a bad card. All right, we just won the coin flip. Our hand is not bad. It's not bad. We're going to normal summon the... Actually, we're going to normal summon this dude. And then we're going to activate his effect, because if we activate his effect, we might be able to bait out a hand trap, whereas with the Familiar Possess, we don't really bait anything out. So we'll see. If our opponent imperms, I think it's pretty good. If our opponent imperms or maxes or something, perfect. Look at that. We get Ash. This is why we did that instead of the Familiar Possess play. Now, that, like, all seriousness, that still might not be enough, but whatever. We're going to actually activate the Dragoodies to protect the monster. And then we're going to set this, and we're going to set this, and we're just going to pass. I think that should be good enough. And we'll see what our opponent's able to do. But that is pretty good so far. So we've got, there can only be 1. If our opponent's playing a deck where it matters, it'll matter. And if our opponent's not playing a deck where it matters, then it won't. I mean, there's nothing I can do. That is really good. It really does matter. So our opponent's playing ABCs. This is an all-machine deck. The second they put 1 machine on the board, none of the other machines are going to be able to do anything. So that's actually really, really good. And unless they hard draw some sort of removal, they're going to be able to equip one from deck. That is fine. Equipping one from deck is fine. And I think as soon as he... Yeah, I'm going to put chaining on. And as soon as his monster resolves, I am going to... Yeah, as soon as his monster... What does this do? This lets him target one face up, equip monster... So he can actually equip a different union from the deck. This is all still fine, so I'm going to allow him to do that. He's going to use Union Driver to equip something else. So he's going to banish, equip something else. And I don't understand the point of the Union Driver. Because he couldn't even just equip the Assault Mode in the first place without equipping another Union monster. I don't get it. So I guess we'll see what he does if he summons something. He's going to activate to special summon this. We're going to go ahead and activate There Can Only Be One to leave it trapped in the back row there. So now this is still trapped. And, oh, I guess that's why they use the Union driver, so that they can special summon at the same turn that it's equipped, maybe. I don't know. But there's a reason that they use that Union driver. I'm not sure what it is, but it's definitely a reason. So we're going to activate the There Can Only Be One. There Can Only Be One will prevent our opponent from getting the... It'll prevent our opponent from getting the A Assault Core onto the board, and now it's stuck back there, which is quite good. They're going to use Signet. Wow, Signet Mining, Utopia, the double or nothing. What is going on here? What is going on with our card? No! Nobody wanted to see that right now. Not Mathmex. Mathmex with ABCs. Ugh. I mean, listen, we can't really complain. We've got evenly matched on the board. I mean, we've got There Can Only Be One on the board. But who are we to really complain? So now he's going to be able to go into rank 4 place if he wants to, and then this will fall off, and he'll be able to do stuff. So I can't be unhappy. I can't be too unhappy for our opponent. He is hard at work playing through our effects. He's going to go to battle phase. I think it would be intelligent to keep our monster on board. So we're going to go ahead and chaining on, cancel, and then battle step, cancel. And then now, do we just use Dragoodies? No, I want to use the other effect. I want to use the trap card. How do I use the trap card? I don't want to use Dragoodies. I want to use the trap card. There we go. I swear it's like negotiation. So we're going to go ahead and use that now in the damage steps, so our opponent is going to have to... this makes it so it's unaffected by something, by our opponent's monster effects, but I mean, we're not using a monster effect. What effect could he possibly have in the damage step? I'm actually quite curious about this. What does he have? Does he have some sort of protection on board? Yeah, we're going to gain attack, and then he's going to be able to... Yeah, if his monster is destroyed by battle or card effect, he can protect it by destroying that instead. So I guess that's not the worst situation in the world. And now this stays on field, but so do our monsters. But next turn, we actually go into Time Thief anyway. Oh, he's going to Link Summon here. Not Link Summon, XYZ Summon more than likely. Let's see what he's going to make. Oh, Bagushka, pretty good. And yeah, Bagushka's not bad, because that'll stall for a little while here. So he's in a little bit... This card is another one that wouldn't be too bad for us to pull. Royal Rare Bagushka's kind of crazy, too. This is not a bad card whatsoever. We don't even have any attack prevention right now. All of our monster effects are going to be... Can't be activated, right? Negate the activated effects. So he's going to negate this effect if we activate it regardless. We can go into Time Thief. Time Thief's not a bad card to summon right now. What could we go into? We can go into Time Thief. We can go into Enlightenment Paladin. We can go into a variety of cards. We have Small World left over. Small World's not bad. I mean, he is kind of stalling right now, so Small World wouldn't be too bad. We have the Bystials, which aren't too bad. Bystials would be quite good against ABCs, obviously. Bystials are really good against ABCs. I think we actually, if we can get into a Bystial, that would be pretty good. So let me check what Bystial we can go into right now. I think that would be interesting. A Bystial wouldn't be too bad, because if we can banish like an A Assault Core, then we can lower his way of getting to things, and then we have this. So this is 2,000 defense. So we'd have to banish a monster with 2,000 defense, or 2,500, or his dark, or something of that sort. What do we have that's 2,000 defense? Alright, so we're going to activate Small World. And I don't know why I activated it in this column like a moron. We're going to activate Small World. We're going to get the Familiar Possessed Win. We need something that is dark and share something with... Unfortunately, these things share multiple things with our Bystial here. So we might have to get to something else. We might have to... Yeah, we might have to get to something else. Let me see here. Unfortunately, the only two darks that we have are the Rocket Caliber and the Iron Dragon, which are both dragons and dark, which unfortunately are not going to work. So if we banish them, we won't be able to get to the next thing. So I think I'm going to have to banish one of the random monsters here, like the Goblinberg, which will give us access to our level 4 engine. Actually, I'll go with the Nefariousness. I'll banish that, and then I have access to all my level 4s. And I think I'm going to go ahead and go with something here, because I can like set the purple poison and then pop something. Now, what's dangerous is you can go into the ABC. That's actually really dangerous. ABC Buster Dragon. But ABC Buster Dragon can pop, or there can only be one. So we need to be able to get rid of it somehow. We have no other way to search it right now, but I guess Yeah, because then if he gets another piece, we're kind of screwed. We're going to go ahead and search the purple poison, and we're just going to set the purple poison. So I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to set purple poison magician in defense mode, and I'm just going to pass. I think that's the best play I have. Fortunately, I did not have access to Bestial Magnum, just because of the cards that we had didn't give us access to it. Yeah, unfortunately, it just didn't. Our opponent's going to detach. They're going to detach probably the B. All they have to get is to C, and we're basically screwed if they get to a copy of C, because C will make them have access to ABC Buster Dragon. So hopefully we can get to the Bestial Magnum up before they can get to the ABC Buster Dragon. They're going to change to attack mode, go to battle phase. I'm going to attack over this. I'm actually quite fine with that. Yeah, I'm actually quite fine. The main phase 2 and end phase. Okay, so they're going to end phase here. We're going to draw the embodiment of Apophis. Which I'm just going to set that, and I'm going to pass here, actually. So we're going to go to end phase, and we're going to let our opponent do their thing. Like I said, if they get to C, we're pretty screwed if they get to C, because they can go into ABC Buster Dragon if they get to C. I mean, technically, they can't get to C quite yet, because if they get, let's say they get to C, they can place C into play. They have, oh no, they have the Therions now. Okay, that's not good, because now if they get the Therion King Regulus, they have a negate, which is rather we had stuff for a second there, but Therion King Regulus is very good. So he's going to get the B Buster, the Drake. He's going to, what does that do? Like attach it as, yeah, he's going to equip the B Buster Drake, special summon. All that is fine. This only negates an activation. It doesn't negate, no, it negates an effect, I believe. When your opponent activates a card effect, oh, never mind. It, yeah, negates that effect, but not the activation. So that is actually quite good. So even if our opponent destroys, our opponent destroys this monster, we can out the Therion King Regulus, I believe. Yeah, they're going to attack. This thing dies no matter what next turn, so I'm not too stressed about it. So they're going to attack over this. We're going to activate the effect to pop a card. I have to make sure. Let me read this real quick. Ugh, this thing's kind of annoying. So this would protect. Once per turn, if your monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, they could send a Therion card. So what sucks is I kind of have to go for this Therion this Coliseum, because if I go for the Regulus, he could just protect it by sending another monster. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with that, because again, he would just protect it regardless. I'm not too concerned with this card because it dies next turn. Like I said, Baguska's on its way out no matter what. I'm not stressing about Baguska. And Therion King Regulus is annoying, but I mean, depends on what we draw. Alright, let's see. We're going to activate the embodiment of Apophis. We'll see what our opponent does about this. If our opponent negates it, they negate it, but again, we're not really... Yeah, they don't negate it. And yeah, we'll see where this goes, I guess. We're going to normal summon that. We're going to summon that. And now we're going to normal summon out the Crowley. We've got Crowley and this dude. I guess we can... Do we do this? Do we... Yeah, I guess we do trigger this, just in case. We trigger it. Hopefully our opponent negates it for some reason. We're going to change it to a light attribute, just to... Hopefully our opponent for some reason negates this effect. They don't. And now we can go into something here. We can go into Time Thief Redoer. Time Thief Redoer is quite powerful because it has both effects. It has the trap effect and it has the monster effect, so that's pretty good. But our issue right now is that our opponent can negate it. So we're gonna attack here. He can negate our you know, he can negate our effect, which is a little bit scary. He's gonna activate that, which is infuriating because if he discard, yeah, he sends a monster, so we can't respond. Ah, that sucks. I mean, it sucks, but what can you do, right? We can't respond to it. We don't even have another card that can really respond. He's going to be able to add a Union. And, oh, shoot, I actually could respond. What in the world? Alright, so now he's going to add that. I wonder if it's going to give me another opportunity. It does give me another opportunity because I have to get rid of, you know, save my monster here. Actually, my monster's negated anyway. I can't really do anything about this. I couldn't respond and my monster's negated, so it doesn't really matter. Hopefully our opponent, for whatever misplay, yeah, he doesn't misplay, but yeah, we couldn't do anything about that anyway. Our monster's negated, so that's going to get destroyed, and then we're going to go to the end phase, and this Baguska is going to out itself no matter what anyway. So I guess that part is okay. At least this will out itself. All right, so they're going to set a monster and then activate Sigma to special summon itself. It's an interesting deck our opponent's playing. It's Therion with Math Mech with the ABCs. Not a bad deck. Our life points are very low, and we probably have lost this duel. But I guess we'll have to see what happens here. But we more than likely have totally lost this duel. Power Frame's not going to do anything for us. We've lost. There's nothing we can do. Alright, we just won the coin flip. Our hand is okay. It's okay. We've got There Can Only Be One. Plus we've got Memory. Plus we've got Threatening Roar. So overall, pretty decent hand. And we've got Familiar Possessed. We've got, they don't really special summon themselves, but we've got two monsters here, so that's not too bad. And then we've got, as a follow-up, we've got the Golden Summoner, which can bounce cards, which is quite good. So overall, it's a solid hand. You know, if our opponent enters a battle phase, we have stuff. If we can, There Can Only Be One, depending on how much it matters. They're playing Punk Sleeves, so the Punk Sleeves are, you know, usually it's an archetype that is like Psychic, so we'll see what we're able to do here. So we're going to go ahead and summon Dark, and then we're going to set 3 and just pass here. Yeah, that's probably the best play I've got. Set 3, pass, and we're going to end phase. And what we're really missing in the deck more than anything is probably Advantage. That's the thing that we're missing. We don't really have ways to like draw cards or, yeah, just get more than one. Like every card we have is pretty much 1 for 1. Our floodgates slow the game down, but we don't have, like I said, we have a lot of 1 for 1 cards. Like, it's like, oh, you know, do this to get rid of one monster, do this to get rid of one monster. We don't have any like huge advantage cards. We don't have like, you know, draw 3, draw 2, like +1. Like, we don't have any of that stuff. We have obviously a few like Bestial Magnamut and stuff like that are like +1s. Tiamon, certain cards we do have that are +1s, but we have a lot. Drytron, oof, this is not what anybody's wanted to see, I'll tell you that right now. Not at all what anybody wanted to see. So I'm going to see what our opponent does here, but this is definitely not what I wanted to see. Because typically, if they're playing Drytrons, that means they're playing Herald, and Herald is just a generic out to anything. They're going to normal summon Herald of Orange Light plus this. I don't even know where this is going yet. I mean, it's probably going into a Sprite Link 2. That's where it's probably going, because it seems to always go to the Sprite Link 2 no matter what you play against. So we'll see what our opponent's doing. They are playing the Herald with, yeah, they're playing the Herald Drytron, which is not an easy deck by any means to play against. But right now, what they've got going on their board isn't really the end of the world, because if they've had to normal summon a Sprite Green on, I mean, not a Sprite Green, if they've had to normal summon a Herald of the Green Light onto the board, I think we're in decent shape. So I think this is going to be the Sprite Monster. Now, IP Masquerena, which we couldn't have stopped, which is fine with me. Right now, that's fine with me. Now, what sucks about that is that he can quick effect out our stuff next turn if he needs to. But I guess we'll see where he's headed right now. I don't know what he's thinking. So, again, I'm just going to wait for our opponent to make mistakes before I really commit to anything. I'm going to activate the Drytron to tribute a monster, probably in hand, and then special summon it from the graveyard. So he's going to tribute a, what was that? Drytron Medionis, okay, which is a machine. So at least that's good. So we've got these on board. I don't know where else he's going with this. We'll see. Then he's going to add the Medionis Trap Ritual spell, which if he activates this right now, rituals do not tribute for cost. So, yep, we're going to go ahead and he's going to activate that. Now I'm going to activate There Can Only Be One. It'll lock him into what he has on the field. The Drytrons are all, yeah, I believe this only works for, he's going to Herald of Purple Light to negate and destroy. What are the chances? Okay, so he's going to do that. And he has Ava. Man, this guy's like a god. Alright, I mean, he's got us here. He's got us beat. I mean, what can I do? He's got us beat. He's going to destroy our There Can Only Be One, and he's going to be able to use the Drytron card to ritual summon out some kind of a gigantic ritual monster right now. Now, he did go sort of minus, but it doesn't matter that he went sort of minus, because he's got more activations that he can get into now, because now that Ava's been discarded, he can get multiple things out, which is sort of annoying. Yeah, Ava is tough to deal with. So he's going to ritual summon into Edatin, which isn't like a super useful card. He can add a ritual spell from deck or graveyard. So I guess it's... Yeah, now he's got Ava. Ava, Edaton. This is not looking good. Ava's going to banish 2, which is going to allow him to add more cards. He's going to add Herald of the Diviner, and that card is usually the one that makes me scoop, because at that point there's not much we can do. But I guess we'll see. Ugh, now he's got that too, the orange light. And then Edaton's going to add a ritual spell. He's essentially just refilled his entire hand, which is kind of amazing. Alright, he's going to go directly to battle phase, which I think is fine here. I don't see anything that can really is that good right now. Maybe there's something I didn't see, but he's going to go to battle phase with these two, which neither of these two are enough to get over our monsters, so I guess it's fine. He's going to main phase 2. If he would have attacked me with IP, I would have stolen it with the memories of... Okay, so he's going to end phase. I'm fine with that. Unbreakable Spirit, okay. I don't really know what to say there, so we're going to normal summon out the Golden Summoner. We're going to see what our opponent does here. Now, he can go into, like, Nightmare Unicorn. Yeah, he definitely can go into Nightmare Unicorn. He has Herald of Orange Light, so I think I'm just going to go to battle phase right now. I'm going to attempt to go to battle phase to make him use his IP Masquerena. I'm going to try to get him to use his IP Masquerena. Yep, he's going to do it, which is the goal. That was the goal of, that was the goal, is to make him use the IP Masquerena. I don't know what he's going to go into, probably a Link 3 of some kind. I basically know what's in his hand, which is good. IP Masquerade is going to be really annoying when Little Knight is in the game. That is going to be really annoying. Hopefully we can pull a Little Knight for this series when it eventually comes out. Yep, as expected, our opponent's going to make a Nightmare Unicorn. And they're going to be able to target and shuffle away something. Our grave, our back row's okay right now. It's not the best. We do have some stuff. We have the Memory of an Adversary. We do have Threatening Roar, and we have Breakable Spear. So honestly, it's probably better if it wouldn't even be that bad for him. If he shovels away one of our monsters, I wouldn't even be unhappy, because then Unbreakable Spirit becomes really good. Honestly, though, we have a lot of battle protection, so we're surviving at least one more turn. So I'm perfectly content with anything he really does. I don't really care. Alright, he's going to shuffle away, continue to main phase. Yeah, I'm going to continue to main phase. Technically speaking, we can actually activate this to shuffle this back into the extra deck. But I kind of want him to attack with it, so I'm just going to set and pass here. Again, we can shuffle this, but it really won't do anything. I guess if next turn he goes into the... If he goes into Axis Code Talker, it's bad for us, but... I want to keep a monster on the board for the... Yeah, I probably should have shuffled it back, but whatever. It's not the end of the world. Actually, never mind. I shouldn't have activated this effect, because he has Herald of Orange Light in the hand, so it would have been stupid to do that anyway. He's going to normal summon Diviner. Diviner's really annoying, because Diviner does anything you want it to. Sometimes it can pop a card, sometimes it can... search a card. Like, this card is so crazy. He's going to activate Diviner of the Herald, which is going to allow him to send... If he wants to send a Tis, he can send a Tis. If he wants to send something else, he can send it. Yeah, I still find it crazy. Like, what are the chances that guy had... He had the out to there can only be one. That was actually kind of crazy. He's going to activate Herald of the Arclight, which is fine. Nothing we can do. He's going to search Cyber Angel Benton. Then he's going to activate Zeta in order to, I guess, special summon itself. I've never fully read Zeta's name, but it's Zeta Al-Hiba. What a dramatic name. I've never really, fully absorbed what this card, what his name was, actually. Alright, he's going to search out Herald of the Ultimateness, which is something nobody wants to see. Because as soon as that hits the board, this game's pretty much over. Our opponent's going to go into a Nightmare Phoenix off the 2 monsters, which honestly is fine by me as long as he doesn't pick Memory of an Adversary. I'm pretty much okay with him doing that. Hopefully he targets Threatening Roar. That's fingers crossed he targets Threatening Roar. I really hope that he targets the Threatening Roar and not one of the others. He targets Memory of the Adversary, which is the card we did not want him to target. But he targets that, so now we're going to lose that card. Which sucks. Our opponent's going to link 2 monsters away. They're probably going to go into access code as expected. We can't respond to anything that access code talker does, so I mean, we can go Threatening Roar right now. That's probably our best bet. We go Threatening Roar right now. And, I mean, Unbreakable Spirit, I guess we could also go Unbreakable Spirit, but I mean, it doesn't really change anything. We can't respond to anything. He's going to be able to pop something. So he's going to pop both cards anyway, so it doesn't matter even if we responded. So we're going to lose both cards right now. And on that note, I think we just... obviously, he doesn't have the life points to beat us, but we don't really have any cards that can... We don't have anything that we can, like, crack back with. We don't have, like, Raigeki or something. So at that point, we just kind of scoop here. We have nothing that we can really do. Alright, we just won the coin flip. Our hand is pretty much looking like it did last game. We've got Memory of an Adversary. We've got Memory Lost. 2 memory cards. Not bad. We've got Threatening Roar and Unbreakable Spirit, which is almost like the same hand we had last. We have a bunch of cards that work amazingly with our Barrier Statue, but we don't have Barrier Statue right now. So one of the things I kind of look forward to pulling is more cards like Barrier Statue. So Fossil Dyna, Jowgen, more Barrier Statues, like any of that stuff. Because right now we have 2 Barrier Statues, and then we have 2 Barrier Statues, and then we have 1 of the other dude. Yeah, we have 2 copies of Barrier Statue, and then we have 1 card that searches the Barrier Statue in a small world. So right now I'm really looking forward to pulling more of the Barrier Statues. Alright, I'm just going to set some cards and pass here. I think I'm going to set Threatening Roar, Memory of an Adversary, and just these 3. I'm actually going to leave these in hand to see what we draw. I don't really see the point of setting this or this. I guess with... Actually, we probably should summon Dragoody's out, because then we can, if anything, we could just draw. And we can actually search if we need to, if it gets destroyed. But for the most part, I think it's fine. We're going to leave on that. I don't think we need to set the Unbreakable Spirit. I mean, we could always just get Raigeki, or not Raigeki, we could always get, like, Harpy's Feather Dustered and then lose everything. So I'll just save at least one of them. And then we've got Memory Loss really isn't bad. It's like a strike, but kind of slower. It's like a strike that... It's essentially like... I don't even know what to really... It's like an imperm. It's like an imperm that we can only use on our opponent's turn, essentially. On attack position monsters only. He's going to go straight to end phase. I mean, that's... You love to see it. I don't even know what that... Messenger of Peace. I'm not activating that. Not a chance. Not a chance. Not with what's going on right now. He end phased. He bricked or something. So we're just going to go ahead. Go to battle. Attack. End phase. Yeah, no point to activate Messenger of Peace. I'm going to save that just in case he has like backward removal or something. He's going to end phase again. I mean, I don't really know what this is. I want to say this is a bot, but I don't know. I mean, usually when it's a rabbit mate and a bunch of random letters, I mean, that's not a bot. This isn't a bot card. It's just a fusion substitute card. I mean, a player would have at least set that card, right? I mean, all right, so we just go to battle phase, attack directly. I guess this is a bot that just does nothing, maybe? I don't know. So many bots in this game. Our opponent's going to end phase again. Yeah, I'm fairly sure this is a bot that just does nothing. Which, if you think about it, a bot that... Yeah, this Axe Dragon. A bot that does nothing actually does better than a bot that self-decays. So, technically speaking, this bot is moving higher up the ranks faster than the other bots. We're just going to go battle phase attack directly. And since I'm playing a bot, I'm just going to spread out my attacks. Alright, so it turns out it was another bot. He just went to end phase every single time, and that's pretty much it. So, free, easy win. Alright, we've got another rank up. We're now in Gold 2. So, this is actually kind of a quick record. We're at the beginning of the month, and we're already up to Gold 2. We got a Legacy ticket. Alright, let's purchase another Master Pack. Let's see what we get. This is the last Master Pack of the episode. It is getting kind of late, so wow! Look at that. What a dramatic final pack. Worm Prince. Who is this guy? This card destroys an opponent's monster battle. You can add 1 reptile worm monster. Not bad. Level's kind of high. Then we've got Evo Prince, or Evo Price. This is actually not bad for our Evolite. If it's special summoned by the effect of an Evolite monster, this actually isn't really all that bad for that deck. An Adamantipator Rock, which isn't super bad. This card's not bad, but we don't have enough Adamantipator stuff to really play it. Dark Valkyria. This card potentially can be generic removal, but the problem is that this is a Gemini monster, which has a million like issues with it because you have to like double normal summon it. But it does generically, you can place a spell counter on it, gains 300 attack force, 1800 normal summon. It's a fairy, it's not a spellcaster. This probably can go in our this probably can go in our deck, the normal deck. The problem is it's not a normal monster in the hand. It's only a normal monster in the field, on the field and in the graveyard. Which, I mean, maybe this can go in. It's actually not bad because you can remove a spell counter, because you can place a spell counter every turn, but you can remove a spell counter to destroy, target one monster on the field and destroy. And that's not even that bad. Honestly, it's not really that bad. Another copy of the Sue ship that we already have. I don't think I'm going to be needing a second one, but I mean, it is good, but I don't think I'm going to need a second one. So let's go. 3 super rares. Let's see what they are. First one is TG Halberd Cannon. Is this generic? 1 tuner synchro monster, 2 non-tuner synchro monsters. You gotta be kidding. That's like pretty much impossible to summon. Essentially 3 synchro monsters in order to make this 1 synchro monster. What's the payoff? Okay, so the payoff for a level 12 monster that requires 3 synchro monsters to make is it basically can prevent a special summon. 1 special summon and then it floats into a TG monster. That's all this card does. That's outrageous. I don't know why that is. Sunvine Thrasher, 1 normal plant monster. I don't think we have any. I have to check, but I don't think we have any. Honestly, not the worst card. I gotta check if we have any normal plants. If we have any normal plants, this could possibly be usable. This has a cool effect where if it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, sends it to the graveyard, we can special summon that monster back. The problem is this only has 800 attack. We can target another Sun Avalon, Link monster, gain attack equal to that monster's Link rating times 800. Not bad, but again, we need a lot of plants for this to be like a good card. And the last card is the Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys monster, which, funny enough, if we had Advanced Ritual Art, we could probably actually summon this, but we don't have Advanced Ritual Art. If we had Advanced Ritual Art, this would be not so bad. We do have the Ancient Ritual Art or something like that, so we can get rid of 2 normal monsters in our hand in order to special summon this from the deck, but I don't think that this is worth it. This is very in-archetype specific. During the standby phase, after this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, special summon this card, it brings itself back. Yeah, so we got 3 very archetypal cards, and then we've got Gungari Sue ship, and then we've got the Dark Valkyrie. Yeah, we just didn't get anything that's really super useful in this pack. Sue ship's good, obviously, but we already have it. Alright, final pack of the episode is a Legacy ticket, so let's see what we get. This is just a singular Legacy ticket. It could be some crazy stuff in here. Powered in Zektron, generic level 6 synchro monster. When this card is synchro summoned this turn, this card cannot be destroyed by battle card effects. Also, you take no battle damage. Honestly, not really super useful, but what is cool is that it is 2500 attack and a level 6. So I guess that's pretty useful. Pulling the Rug is actually kind of a good card. I might run this. Wow. This is an Edison card. Basically, when a monster effect is activated, and the monster's normal summoned, we can negate that activation, destroy that card. Basically, this is basically like a Solemn Strike on any normal summon effect that activates. It's not a bad card, but it's also not like a fantastic card. It's only really good going second. It's good against cards like Aluber, for example. If your opponent normal summon, activate Aluber, poof, pop the Aluber, and destroy the Aluber. So, yeah, destroy it, negate it. Pretty good. If our opponent doesn't have a Searcher, but every archetype now has an on-summon Searcher, it might actually be a card that is usable for us. So I guess activated when a monster is normal. So yeah, I guess this might actually be usable. I don't know. I guess you guys got to tell me if this is something that I should try. Alright guys, so last time you guys wanted me to play another deck, so I think next time I might play either Chaos Pile or Dragon Warrior. You guys can tell me which one. Either Dragon Warrior or Chaos Pile, so I'm either going to go with this Chaos Pile deck, which I have to drastically fix up because we've gotten so many new cards since then. We've also got the Dragon Warrior deck, which again, we've pulled a lot of Dragons and Warrior cards that are quite good, stuff like the Colonel C and like other stuff. I really got to look through all the Warrior support. We've got this, for example, Rose Paladin, which is really not a bad card. It can search any level 7 Warrior, level 7 or higher plant monster from the deck, which is, I have to check out what we even have for that. And then we've got a variety of other cards. I really have to look through everything and see which deck to play, but I guess you guys let me know. I tried Hot Sauce at the beginning of this. We switched back to Yugi Jr., but I think that Chaos Pile could be interesting, or a Dragon or Warrior. I guess let me know in the comment section down below, and thank you for watching. La, 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 la.